Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for the recap. I will make Foggy and Snap state behind, yada yada yada. On the top line, so go ahead and pause. And pause. There is your recap. See y'all in the session. And we are on the internet.
Hello, Internet.
The internet.
Hello, Internet.
So,
Wow.
everybody's read the recap. We're going to begin our session on day 54 at the very end of the day around a campfire in Losentoft. There will be opportunity for messages and role play before the next day begins. At first, your DM has to announce that I messed up the timeline a little bit.
Uh-oh.
There is a transcribed message out there in the world between Snaps and Skaros, where Skaros indicated that their anniversary was in 3 days.
Yes.
It's in fact 2 days from that date.
Okay, so only 2 days away.
Yeah.
That makes the scatterbrain make much more sense.
Wait, so that message was yesterday, which means their anniversary is tomorrow.
Yeah.
Their anniversary is tomorrow. Okay.
Yep.
Well, hopefully we still make it
Above
back in
table
time.
question. I was going to
What?
say
More
above
than a
table
day
question.
away.
Is it even possible to get there in time?
No,
I
you're
think
not
we're
going
more
to
than
make
a
it.
day away.
Maybe if
You
we
are
didn't-
definitely not going to make it back to Dybrook in time.
Maybe if we didn't stop.
We're
for the
gonna
giant-
arrive late with Starbucks and chocolate.
Yeah.
So there you go. It's Losentoft around a campfire. What are we doing?
Drinking heavily.
I'm sure that Barber will gladly share his whiskey with you.
I think Snaps is just like doing yoga, stretching her leg out, because I think sitting in a car for 12 hours on the bad leg was not a good idea. But that's it.
Yeah, probably.
I, as the resident nerd, will be sitting more, in fact.
All of the sitting.
Hmm?
Whomst. Why am I
Specifically
receiving?
the and reading kind.
Any other evening downtime activity before we go to bed?
Ross is gonna finally make friends with the chicken.
I don't even know what spells I have left. No 5th level. 1 4th level. Sending spells. I don't know. Is there anyone we need to send spells to? I mean, do a sending spell to.
Not that I can recall.
Not really.
Right.
We've just been keeping Mrs. Skaros informed of our progress, but we don't really have anything new. They know we're a couple days out.
Right.
I'm trying so hard to remember because I feel like there was a thing that I wanted to do with sending and messages, and my brain was all the way to the clock. It's been a day.
Burris, you need to move your microphone.
I can't move my microphone. It's in my ear.
You need to move your hair
Yeah,
or
'cause right now
reposition your microphone.
you sound super far
Am I just not audible?
There we go. That's better.
You're much
Whatever
better.
you just did
Yeah.
fixed it.
Oh,
You were-
okay. So I have to actually talk like I mean it.
Yeah. And then re-say
Okay.
all the stuff you just said.
All the stuff I just said can be summed up with my brain is overclocked for the day, and I don't know what I wanted to do before bed.
Ah.
I'm sure there's probably some glares at the asshole townies.
Yeah. Mm.
The moon's getting high, people.
Ha moon.
It's my favorite.
Here's a moon.
Is that like a vampire cowboy?
Vampire
Frantically
cowboy.
writes in
New
notebook.
character
It is now.
unlocked.
Werewolf cowboy. Yeah, that's it. I'm trying to think of
Warehouse.
Like a
I'm just trying to
house
think
that
of-
transforms into a werewolf.
Warehouse.
Is now.
It is now.
No, yeah, I can't really. I'm debating on whether or not I wanted to do a thing, but I've
Metal
decided that no.
We've got Hi.
So
Whatever the heck
you
that was. Ooh.
okay. Snaps is doing some yoga before bed.
Did no one else get that like really loud spike?
No,
of
I
noise?
caught it too. I just tried to.
Okay.
Yeah, that's sure. Yeah, I don't know if that came. I was adjusting my microphone to try to. I might have knocked the cord.
Yeah, ouch.
Was it? Did I do something?
No,
That
No,
might
I
have
think
been
I
me.
think I think I would have been desk.
it's fine.
Whoopsie.
Anyways, no,
My headphones must have protected me from it. I didn't hear a damn thing.
you are sure Greg is reeling right now.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
Anyway,
Well, I
So
lived.
there are lots of hay bales in the barn, onto which many people have placed pillows and blankets and things for you to be able to go sleep in there. One of the ladies has offered a little pup tent situation that's got little bedrolls in it. Two of those, well, two bedrolls in there. Y'all can settle in and sleep where you wish.
Do we feel confident enough to sleep without the dome tonight, or are we going to keep watch just in case?
I don't think we need the dome, but we can keep watch.
I can offer an
Snaps will
alarm.
kind of shrug and not say anything in case villagers are listening, but she'll kind of hold the bag of holding a little bit closer.
Well, I have an alarm spell if anyone needs.
I think Dusky is gonna suddenly have Maev's voice in his head. And I know we're not supposed to be calling people assholes. It's not nice, but you know, I don't really like these people. Don't really know these people. I don't really trust these people. And we have to keep the thingy safe before the smiley comes back to get the thingy. And do we do a dome? I think a dome is a good idea.
And I forget.
And
Can I
everyone
respond to
sitting
my head?
around us just sees Maiev staring intently at Dusk.
Yeah. And yes, you can respond.
And in my head, it'll just be like, easy enough. We can go find a place out behind the barn in a clear spot. Everyone's got their
Where-
tents. This is our tent.
There's plenty of room to put up the dome in the barn.
Well, if we can get permission to put it in the barn, I don't want to displace anybody.
Well, they have offered you hay bales and blankets and pillows inside the barn.
Right? But I
Is-
don't want to
is
feel
there
rude.
Dome like a
by-
tent.
It's like our tent outside. We'll be fine outside.
Cool.
We don't need to dome it in the barn. That would just seem silly.
And Maya is going to one by one, because all it requires is a bonus action, and I can do it as many times as I fucking want to. Just one by one to everybody in the party. We're going to do a dome outside because Thingy, and we have to protect Thingy until Smiley comes back. Everybody gets like a slightly different variation of what I said to Dusk in different orders.
Got it.
Yes, we got to protect the Thingy until Smiley comes back. And I know you know the Thingy. I mean, I know. I told Rasa we shouldn't say egg out loud. This isn't really out loud, but just random Maya ramblings into everyone's head until we all make our way out to the back of the barn or wherever it is the Dusk chooses to set up the dome.
Giving in and muting my phone.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry, YouTube. Don't know what that was.
I have given in and muted my telephone and now has a sticky on it that says, "Don't forget to unmute me."
Fantastic.
So, dome enabled.
Yes.
Sleepy time started.
We'll
Yes.
set up her bedroll next to
Uh,
Maev and then curl up around the bag of holding.
We'll make sure Wine Drinker and Jezebel are in good places and got everything they needed for the night.
Those are
But
some
since I
very
got to put up the
grateful
dome, I
horses.
got to make sure. And once I'm in the dome, I'm in the dome for the night. So
Those are two very grateful horses.
Mm-hmm.
but just then I'll wander out to the clearing and behind the barn and find a suitable place, and I'll just start my little ritual of putting up the dome.
And player still cannot recall which art piece character is actively working on, but I think she's gonna start one with the two horses. It's gonna look
Okay.
real weird, and it's gonna be upside down.
Mm-hmm. By the time she's done, it will look like she has two dead horses on her leg.
Mm-hmm.
The night
Nice.
is cool and damp outside, but perfectly comfortable inside the dome. It's a nice, calm, uneventful evening. There is the occasional yelp or scrabbling noise from someone drunkenly tripping over one of the campfires on their way to bed. For the most part, these people settle in, get themselves a good drunk going, and then go to sleep. The children obviously all went to bed at a very reasonable hour before the drunks got drunk. They're at least responsible enough to not be super in front of children. And it's an uneventful night, and morning will come, and the sun will rise, and the day will begin. In the morning, I assume you're going to be continuing toward Dybrook.
Mm-hmm.
I will need a thingy at sunrise, as always.
One of us needs to make a saving throw.
Usually two
Well,
of
it's
us have
two
to do, I
people.
think,
Yep.
wisdom.
Yep. Snaps, and then depending on the result, dusk.
Ah.
While they're rolling,
Mm.
one of the things Rasa would do is she would kind of take a look at her dagger, because now that she's kind of met the woman that she thinks gifted it, and she said that they weren't around. She's curious to see if it would react any differently, or if it's still puzzle piecey together easily, or anything different.
I believe today is the first day following your having met the woman in face to face,
I
or the
believe so, but
goddess,
I'm
or
not
whatever.
sure.
Yeah, this I believe is your first day after having that face to face conversation, and this morning it is reassembled.
Oh, okay. So definitely something different. She wasn't sure with her saying that she wasn't going to be around, so don't get in trouble. Cloud giant, fog giant, whatever. But still.
When you discover that it is pre-assembled this morning, you might associate that with any other change that it may have experienced recently.
Player is not connecting those dots.
Check your I think you and I had a private message.
Okay, I'll review. Give me a minute or two or three.
Yeah, it's the most recent message in our private conversation.
It's
And
been
the
a couple
time
weeks.
limit.
Bear with me.
Yeah, it's okay. And the time limit in that message from me applies to
okay.
this whole, it's pre-assembled, will last for the same duration.
Okay. Yep. Now it's making sense.
Snaps,
Okay.
yeah, Snaps could make the assumption, not Snaps, sorry. Rasa could make the
Gotcha.
assumption that those two things are attached.
Okay. Perfect.
All right, what was Snaps' wisdom save? Oh, it doesn't fucking matter. Dusk, I need a wisdom save.
26.
Fine. Cool. All righty. It's morning. What are y'all doing?
I say we saddle up and keep moving.
Agreed. No time to waste.
Without any further ado, then, you all roll up your bedrolls, pack up your goodies, and head over to your wagon, carriage thing, waving goodbye to people as you depart. Get up in there, hook up the horses, and take off down the road. I'm assuming that I was correct. You will be continuing toward Dybrook this morning.
Indeed.
It's a lovely jaunt along the seaside. Again, well-defined road as always. No need for navigation or worries of anything of that sort. It's going to be 6.5 hours of carriage travel between Losentoft and the next village of Have Hollow. If anybody would like to have any role play or anything interesting happening during that 6.5 hours, now would be the time. I don't know how long it's been since I updated your puck location. Oh, very long time.
Hmm. I'm preparing spells and I'm looking at what I can do and things I don't have enough of. Incense worth at least 250 gold. Ivory strips and nope. Scrying, I don't have a focus worth at least 1,000 gold. At least I don't think I do.
I thought Lightbringer was your focus.
Oh, well, I guess it could be.
I thought it was.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it would be, wouldn't it? I don't know
How much
why.
is it worth?
It's worth a lot of money. It's
A
priceless.
lot.
It's
Priceless.
priceless. It was gifted by the gods. Come on.
It definitely falls under the magic item pricing structure, which is pretty extensive.
Mm-hmm.
Hefty. Oh, housekeeping question. Does the professor
Mhm.
still have tits?
The professor would be the one to remember how long the change was going to last.
The original was 3 sessions, and I think that was 3 sessions ago.
3 days.
But yeah, then you said 3 days. I don't think it's 3
West is
days.
on top of it. This is day 2 of tits.
Yeah, that's
West
Day
knows
2 of
all.
it was 3 sessions, but 2 days.
She's a librarian.
Yeah.
So
Weirdness. Now I'm receiving a crazy amount of DMs. Why? Leave me be.
Is Aste
I'll,
experiencing back pain?
Hmm?
Is Aste experiencing back pain?
yes.
It's like, I mean, if someone can take the reins, I should say, for like 10 minutes, I can.
Samity's head pops up out the hole in the thing. I could do it. I could do it. I could do
Oh
it.
yeah, you've
Yeah.
driven.
I did.
I mean,
I
these
did.
horses.
I did.
They basically drive themselves. They're well trained in this endeavor of walking on roads.
I could do it.
All right. I mean, I'm gonna be like right here. I'm just gonna do a little something, but I can't devote my undivided attention to that and drive.
And then the
I'm
carriage.
happy to finally have something that I can do that's helpful.
Oh, that'd be extremely helpful. Just keep them on the straight and narrow, and you'll be just fine. And if you see
And
anything weird,
Foggy-
stop them, and we'll figure out what's going on.
Foggy will suddenly have the bottom of her shoe on the top of his knee as she's trying to hoist herself up out of the sunroof
Yep,
to
he
climb out
he
over the
is more
top.
than willing to function as a ladder for the moment.
And she scrambles on
And-
up and climbs over the top. Didn't even have to pull over.
And Maya was just gonna, cheese is helpful.
And then she'll lean back down over her head down in the hole and go, yeah, but I haven't made any, have I? And then she he's up
So-
there, grabs the reins. All right, stay on the road. Got it.
Right. We gave up the egg thing, right? Oh, we still have it. I'm just going to be like, Snaps. I'm gonna just. What do you think? I'm gonna try this thing because I haven't really done it yet. But I'm thinking maybe if we could take a peek through this time and space as we're through scrying. Well, this if they're saying that out loud, Rasa, I'd say not the shifty guy. I don't know if the shifty guy poses a threat to us today, but the only thing that I can think of that would pose a threat to us, that might have a vested interest in recovering this thing, is that dragon, right?
What dragon?
The red one, the one that attacked Ibrook, the one that attacked us.
Are we sure that they are one and the same?
Red one.
Well, I really hope we're only dealing with one dragon, but you're right, Rasa, that troubles me greatly when you say, what if? But let's just assume they're the same. I could scry on it and see if it's what it's doing, and if this egg truly does belong to it, wouldn't that make it easier to scry on it?
That dragon's really smart.
They are smart.
Wisdom is 3.
Yeah. But so what?
Though this is player above game.
Well, yeah, they are smart, but
Okay.
I don't know. That's why at least I'm I'm throwing an idea out there. Because if this thing were flying and it looked like it was flying in a place that looked, resembling a known place, I mean, maybe we'll not be able to tell, maybe not. I've never scryed. I don't really know. But maybe it's worth doing. Do you think? Is that going to cause trouble? Because, I mean, we haven't been able to figure out who's scrying on us. So what are the odds that it can figure out who and where someone's scrying on it? I'm assuming they're scrying on us with that little thingy we see in the morning occasionally.
I never seen nothing.
I have. It's very clearly it knows it's paying attention to us some way, shape, or
So are you
form.
going to do it or not?
Well, I'm putting it out there. I'm not going to make this decision, and because if we think there's a risk that this thing could beam right towards us because it knows where we are because I scried on it, I don't think that would be a good idea.
Can do that?
I mean, I'm not the smartest.
Wait, can it do that?
Well, that's the question. I say, is it worth the risk?
Because if it can do that by knowing our location because we scried on it, why can't we do the reverse? Why can't we find out where the person who's scrying on us is?
I'm going to chalk that up to inexperience. Dragons might be a little more familiar with this type of thing. I don't know. But the only other person that can scry in this party and might know a thing or two, because then you already tried scrying on them, right? Snaps? Or not on the dragon, but on the blurry guy.
I did not try scrying. I messaged him
Oh, message, right. Did we try
while I
scrying?
was hopped up on Nip.
On Nip. Right, I do recall that, yes. Well, I don't know. I was just throwing it out there. I could try and scry on the dragon and see if it's, is it sitting still? Is it flying around? What's it doing? Is it out with somebody? Or is it, kind of maybe turn the tables on the type of things that we've been dealing with.
There is the risk of taking it out of the bag that we have hypothesized about, but if it's maybe just for a short time.
Or what if I reach in and I touch it and I scry while my hand is in the bag?
We are not to take the egg out of the bag. No.
All right. Okay, all right. Well, I could put my hand in the bag and then I could scry into Lightbringer and try and it's only assuming if this dragon lays claim to this egg, then then the divine laws of magic would suggest that it's actually his or its or hers, and then it'll make this job easier. We know what the dragon looks like. I already know. I've seen the dragon, so that'll help. I'm not just trying to scry a dragon in my mind and imagination.
Why do you need the egg at all? I'm sorry. I just don't understand.
Well, I believe it works like this, that if I'm scrying in possession of something that belongs to the person or creature, I should say, like if I had some hair or blood or I don't know what have you.
Okay.
A shirt.
We were told that while the eggie is in the baggie, they cannot feel its existence.
Right.
Our helper is unable to help right now and said not to get any trouble. Eggie stays in baggie. End of story.
Does kind of looks downcast, like it's been chastised. Like, right, yes, Lady Rasa, you're right. I wouldn't want to endanger anything.
So as long as Eggie stays in baggie, we good.
Well, that's true. I believe that's true. That's what
I was told to keep it safe.
What can I say? I just want to. If this thing is flying, I want to be ready for it. I don't know if we could tell it was heading in our direction, or if it's at least even in the same vicinity as us. But
Stays in.
all right. Well, Lady Rasa votes to keep it in the bag.
There is no vote.
Well, I could still try and scry the dragon without the egg. May not technically even belong to the dragon by rights. It may want the egg, but it may not actually belong to it.
Stay. Do what you will, egg stay.
Okay.
I will fight you.
Fair enough.
That's something. And he like looks up from his book. He's like, "That's something I want to see. Hold on."
Oh, no,
No,
no, I don't. Trust me, with Lady Rasa, I don't think I want to go toe to toe, claw to claw,
Well, if you aren't, I would
Claw
try.
to hoof.
but-
claw to hoof. Hey, wait, hoof? I don't have hooves. That's a myth. Perpetrating a myth. He rubs his head, and the nubs are probably like a good 3/4 inch longer than they were yesterday.
I thought you had hooves for feet.
I don't think they're hooves. Not really.
Okay.
No, you're a bugbear. No, you're not. You're a
Furbolg.
Not according to the official art.
Okay.
bugs.
That would be pretty bitchin'.
You just chose not to.
Yeah.
Yeah, for bugs
Well,
do have feet.
I mean, most
Okay.
fearball don't have hooves. That's not to say a fearball couldn't have hooves, but I think my particular one is hoofless. Anyway, so I take it I'm not going to scry.
You
The
can.
dragon.
Just eggy stays in baggy.
Okay.
That's all I get you.
All right. Well, last chance.
You can try the whole stick your hand in, but the eggy stays in the baggy.
That's very clear. You made your opinion very clear, Lady Rasa. I'm not going to take the bloody egg out of the bag. I
still
promise
want to see the fight.
you. All right. Well, if you open up the bag of holding, I'll stick my arm in one-handed, and I'll hold a Lightbringer in the other, and I'll try and scry to the dragon.
We'll pull the bag up onto her lap and flip the lid open.
It just I won't pull it out. I can't pull it out one-handed, probably, anyways. But I'm gonna
Okay,
pick.
I now
I'm
have
gonna dip
a
my arm in.
mental image of Dusk laying belly down on the roof of the carriage with his ass at the hinge, reaching down into the bag of holding.
Right. And I got Lightbringer holding up Lightbringer up, sky above me.
Samity's got a hold of one of your ankles.
I'm like, this is the most awkward spell I've ever cast. Let's see what happens. And I'm just going to start praying to the Moon Mother to grant me the sight to seek my target. That red dragon that I've met before that almost killed us. That has attacked Dybrook, assuming it's the same one, and lays claim possibly to this egg. But if it truly does belong to it, you'll grant me that extra chance that I'll scry up, take a good look upon this beast. Let's see what it's up to.
And it is a saving throw by the recipient of the spell.
Right. Okay.
And
And that's the DC starts at 16, a wisdom saving throw at 16.
and if you have a possession of the creature you're scrying on, it
If I have a possession or garment, it's -4 to the save modifier. So that would take 4 off of the roll.
So it's
I don't-
easier for you to find them. Right. Okay.
Right.
Cool. Got it.
It's more likely they will fail.
Right.
And since I guess I've met, I don't know it well, but it's not secondhand. I've seen it, I've laid eyes on it.
So save
Have we seen
modifier
red
is
dragon?
reducing the dragon's modifier.
Right. So when you roll, you'll
Not
take
reducing the difficulty class. Got it. Okay.
That's assuming
what
the
I
egg
roll,
actually belongs to
And
it,
then
right?
the save modifier rather than his intelligence or wisdom. It is a wisdom saving throw.
It's a
So I would
wisdom
add
saving
his
throw, yeah.
wisdom Okay, so wisdom saving throw and then
Yep.
plus or minus based on this stuff.
Right.
Got
It has to
Okay.
it has to meet or beat a 16.
Wisdom.
But if the egg actually belongs to the dragon, you would take 4 off the roll. If not, then you wouldn't take anything off.
And there. Okay, so unfortunately, you didn't. It doesn't seem to be taking purchase. Like your mind goes out there into the world, and your mind's eye gets a vision of flying out above the carriage, and like circling slowly above your own butt. You get a good look at your own ass sticking up in the air, and then it settles right back down.
It's like, ooh, it's not a dragon,
No, it was your own butt.
but that wagon be dragon. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And your vision slowly comes back down and disappears.
Well, that dragon's very wisdomous, or the egg doesn't belong to it, or both. But I got nothing. Just a view of me own arse weaving in the air above the wagon here. Bit of an out of body experience. So yeah. All right. Well, it was something to pass the time. 10 minutes. Sam, do you like driving? Is it all good? Jezebel and Wine Drinker making it easy?
Yeah, they're being just beautiful ladies.
All right, perfect. I'll just take a break here. Just enjoy the scenery a little bit.
Well,
Carve
is
some
lovely
wooden
scenery.
trinkets.
Yeah. And it's lovely scenery. Look, the ocean, it's right there over that ledge, that little berm of sand. Do you see it? It's beautiful.
Mm.
And Maya pops her head out like, what?
You were right by the ocean in Losentoft too, Mayev. But it was
Yeah, I don't
smelly.
know if. Yeah, it was smelly. Just kind
So
of
continuing
looking
on,
and-
clickety clack, clickety clack.
I was supposed to have taken a long rest at this point, correct?
Yes,
Oh.
everybody had a long rest last night.
We slept in the town.
Player brain is struggling. I'm sorry.
Anything else anybody wants to do in the 6.5 hours it takes to get to where I have your icon on the map?
Yeah, I just realized something that I feel like I should have realized a while back.
Mm-hmm.
So like he'll just prop his head up and he's like, "Wait, what are we doing here? What is Dybrook and why are we going to it?" And yeah, what is our main goal here? Did we have a reason for doing what we're doing?
You bamfed into the wanderers of fate. We're not exactly the most goal oriented
What's a fake
adventuring
wanderer?
party.
Or
Did
wanderers?
we ever? We must have told you the story about how we got on this little party of ours.
No.
No.
No,
Well,
not
Dybrook
really.
is our home, but
I
I'll let
realize,
somebody else tell the story.
I realize I've been following you all for this extended period of time. You've been wonderful for the whole notes taking thing, but other than that, I'm not
You
really
know
sure
nothing
what's...
about the thing. Yeah, also, for the record, helps to have your microphone unmuted when you begin engaging in conversation.
Yes.
Yeah. Uh, the long and short of everything you need to know about the reason you're catching us at what seems like a goalless moment is that Dybrook is essentially the town that is our base of operations, and we had just gone up to a bunch of mountains to the northern end of the continent, and we're on our way back when you caught us. So that's why it seems goalless right now. We're heading back to base. You don't need to know the full extent of what we were doing up in the mountains because it was literally nightmare inducing.
Well, that sounds like a wonderful time. I want to know that.
You do, but you
It
don't.
was
Yeah, you
it
do,
was
but
a
you don't.
curse that cursed us with a nightmare. It was not fun.
But there are, what, 2 people of the cloth here? Can clerics not remove curses?
Oh, we did, but
Yes.
we wanted to deal with the curse at the source as well, so we did that.
Hmm.
We found that through the curse's effects on a nightly basis, we were able to possibly change the future. We changed
Oh.
something in the past to a future that may have been by remaining in the now.
Oh yes, I that's
Wibbly
my area
wobbly,
of
timey
expertise.
wimey things.
That one could say that's my area of expertise.
Wonderful. Well, you would have been very handy to have, I'm sure, because it was befuddling and scary and nightmare inducing, as what was just said.
Changing different timelines, huh?
Yeah.
But yeah, we needed, I say, to have the nightly fly from our bodies to the place in question in the mountains to the far northeast. That uh, we needed to be able to study the route, because we had slight control once we got to there, and we could kind of see things and try to get a better grasp on what we were up against. So some of us kept the curse, knowing that it wasn't exactly fun.
But it was useful for data gathering purposes.
Exactly, right.
And then we got into the caves and sort of knew where we were going and destroyed a bunch of evil, horrible critters that I don't want to keep talking about for fear of re-traumatizing the person who's currently driving the vehicle.
I see.
Right, yes, there is a present company that was rescued from such a fate.
And she yells into the hole, into the, I'm okay.
She's good, she's fine.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm sure there's no long-lasting trauma involved.
Mhm.
Nope, I'm okay.
Yep, she's fine.
Very well.
So
Then.
yeah, we are simply individuals who
And
know that. You first.
you're all just going to gloss over the whole, we did cure the curse once.
Right, well, yeah, I mean, we don't want to brag, but, we did solve the underlying evil root of the curse.
Yeah, but
And
But,
Curse
it's neither
somebody
here nor
spread
there.
by detailing the dream, which is why and the curse dream still happened after we resolved the problem. So we don't want to inflict any nightmares.
yeah.
and you're all still glossing over the fact that your direwolf companion was uncursed on Foggy.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's slightly less important. The fact that we
Okay.
nearly lost Karak is slightly less important because we didn't lose him. We only nearly lost him. Two different things.
Okay.
All I'm saying is that it feels like to me more than any other amount of material planar people, you all seem to just live in trouble.
Yes.
You're good at
When
it.
yeah, when you are as good as we are as a group at beating the crap out of things bigger and stronger than us, and you have the ability to help people who can't help themselves, why would you go out of your way to not do such a thing? And so, in exchange for large sums of money, we risk our lives so other people don't have to. Hence, and then he gestures to the south, we felt the need to help those people with the giant that would have just absolutely destroyed their town looking for a person who was dead.
Right.
And this all started in Dybrook, where we all met. At
Yeah.
least collectively.
Hmm.
We sort of have a home base there, so we're heading back home. And we have friends there.
We disrupted a plot of some sort while we were in Dybrook. Some ne'er-do-wells that were infiltrating the local government of sorts, if you want to call it that. It's more like people who were pretending to be things they were not and instigating all sorts of horrors, like demon imps. Yeah, if you haven't been to the
Imps are devils, but yes. Continue.
yes, you haven't been to the Homestead of Joy, but that was under attack. Our friend Miss Scaros calls that place home, and so there was a farm that was being attacked when we got to Dybrook, and there was some bald spotted thieves that were responsible, and we tried to get to the bottom of it, but they were very unforthcoming with information. Would rather die than divulge that kind of information, or or even just die than be taken hostage or either. Boy, this is a trip down memory lane.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted. I was curious.
Yeah, and then when we finally hit the road for a while, a dragon showed up and burned down the theater, the Southern Theater in Dybrook.
When I first came to Dybrook, so Dusk mentioned the Bald Spot Bandits. We had a theory that the bandits were being maybe scryed on because their hair had been taken. But when I first got to Dybrook, I saw 2 bandits, and they both had bald spots, but they both sort of up and died strangely. They both sort of lifted off the ground and flailed around and then got slammed down into a boat and were dead. You heard of any magic that can do that?
Of things that move people?
Yeah.
Well, that could be
They
magic.
they were running away from something, and I think it was the fight that they had with the rest of the party, the rest of the gang, but they just kind of lifted up and flailed around, and then their heads snapped and they got thrown down into this little boat, and that was it.
Well, that sounds like either some form of control magic, or more likely, it's some form of high level telekinesis, which is a school of psionics.
Can you do that through hair like scrying, or would they have
Hmm.
had to see them?
Telekinesis as a psionic trait does not require any amount of the person. Just requires, well, I assume for one to be nearby. I'd have to check through and see if there's anything that comes to mind. It might be a higher circle of magic than I've studied, but I'm not sure. Give me some time, I'll study it and see what I can get back to you for. Should I make an Arcana check?
You could.
Oh, good. I'm good at these, yay.
Do it. Do it good.
Eh. I don't think I get primer stuff on this. That's just what? Nature or history
That's the
and
wrong
religion?
button.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Bonus ducks.
I have
19.
not heard that phrase in a very long time.
With a 19, I will tell you that you, as a player, your understanding of psionic stuff is greater than me as a DM's knowledge of psionic stuff. So you, as a player, will know what you, as a player, know about that.
Mm-hmm.
But also, you, as a character, have some level of common sense thinking that goes with the question Snap asks. And while you're pondering the possible psionic stuff, it occurs to you that the most likely thing is most often the thing. So if
Sorry, is there
Scott, yeah, so if Snaps couldn't see what was doing the damage, maybe it's because what was doing the damage at that time was not visible.
Huh. Yeah. So tell me what happened to them one more time, just as a general thought. They lifted off the ground and then their heads snapped. Their necks got snapped.
Yeah.
Have you thought that it was a particularly strong person who was invisible at the time?
Mm, Maybe?
Did they come off the ground very far?
I don't think my notes from that very first email before I was even in the session say how far they got lifted off the ground.
I'm envisioning a World Wrestling Federation move where a person gets hoisted up and then slammed down on their head.
So about a few
So,
feet.
yeah,
So if I
that's
use
the
my
up.
imagination, I could imagine a person, not a giant thing.
Right.
Okay. Could have been invisible person sized. Regular person sized, but invisible.
But strong enough to hoist an entire man above its head.
No. Did they both get lifted up at the same time? That's kind of what I thought, or just one and then the other?
One and then the other.
Okay. That's discomforting.
Well, surely we will get some more form of information as time goes by. For right now, let's just focus on getting home and not giving me any more panic attacks, shall we?
But it sounds like fun. I could study that.
Oh boy. I'm already weird enough to study when it comes to what I am without the need to also give the two heads that are in this head a panic attack.
Ooh, that gives me another idea.
Oh, god damn it. I need to just stop talking. Foggy, we'll say that out loud and then stop talking.
Hmm.
Well, I'm
Ooh.
always here if you all have questions. So.
Thank you. Sorry for not giving you that whole where we came from spiel earlier. I really thought one of us did, but I think all of us had that same thought of surely one of us has had this conversation with him.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a bit of a long road, even though it's only been what, a month.
Yeah, I was gonna say 4 weeks at most.
I feel like we've been through. It's been a very busy for 10 days, 4 weeks, for 10 days, whatever you want to call it.
Day 55 today.
That's quite a
So
thing
it's
to
been a
be
month
keeping
now.
track of.
Almost technically a month is 3 10 days, right? Or was it 4 10 days?
It's 3 10 days thereabouts.
3
10 days. So it's almost been 2 months.
A very eventful 2 months.
Yeah. And all
Seen a
because
lot
I
of stuff,
walked
met a
into
lot
a
of people.
bar and saw a bunch of physically capable people and asked them for help, and now I personally feel responsible anytime any one of you fuckers gets injured. Damn all of you.
I figure I'm still a little bit of an outsider, but, well,
Oh, no.
don't worry too much about that.
No, you're implicated now. It's too late for that.
Implicated.
That's a word for it.
My goodness. You all make it sound like I'm in some sort of mafia.
Ooh, that's a big word for dusk. Yeah, that's right. Good point, Lady Rasa. Good point. You are now part of this endeavor. Oh, wait, that's a big word too.
Journey.
Journey.
You sure that's not a long word, too?
Journey's
Mess.
not the big word.
Part of this mess.
Yeah.
Paris is typing something. And her microphone is muted.
Yes, sorry. Was struggling mightily with dual conversations, but I gathered
Mm.
that we were relaying the backstory to the professor, and it
Yes.
was
Yes.
perfectly acceptable for me to take the back seat while we did that because we had enough heads to make it happen. But
Yeah.
as soon as Foggy says that now he feels personally responsible for any time any one of us gets injured, the player then has to resist the urge to pinch the shit out of her own arm in game.
Take 1 damage.
Maiev wants to make Foggy feel bad.
No, Maya just wants to be a dick.
But no one gets to be a backseat character when telling their backstories because I wanted everyone to give like a little speech.
Eh,
So
You got a little something from everybody except for Maiev.
I don't think I got from Rasa either, did I?
Yeah, you did.
I
I
did?
also chipped in here and there.
Okay. Well then, speak those who haven't.
Sorry, player was also stuffing food in face while that was all going on.
Yum,
I
yum.
saw it.
So
Is there
I think
anything Maiev would add that they didn't cover?
I think the only thing Maya probably would have added from what I did hear, and I may be repeating things that I didn't hear, so I apologize. Is that Dybrook has become our second home for most of us. And she would give the little bit of backstory of the home that I came from is all kinds of different peoples, and so you fit in just fine with me. I'm used to all kinds of different peoples, and me and Rasta have known each other longer than everybody else has known me and Rasta. That's where I got my pretty little necklace. That's why I like to walk on the bottom of the waters when there's waters. And she's like twitching while she looks over her shoulder at the water that's over there. um, and then my brain won't give it to me, but if the oath has not been said aloud yet in this info dump, even though player brain is severely overclocked and will not spit out said oath, she would spit out said oath.
I think I've heard.
I think we've
that.
said the oath in the town with the kids.
Yeah, you've said that
Yeah.
and at the school.
Yeah, with the school.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. So that thing that I say, I usually kind of sound a little scary when I say it, because usually when I say it, somebody is making me mad. Uh, but that's where me and Rasa know each other from. And then I still haven't completely figured out how we got where we went, where Gilly found us. Because I mean, I know I'm not the smartest, but I know there was some sort of traveling happening, and I think I took a little bit too long of a nap, and then all of a sudden we were in the forest,
Well,
and then there was a Gilly and a Dusky.
well, for what it's worth, there is no such thing as a final destination, only the journey.
And what's a gilly?
Right. I don't even remember half my journey.
Yeah, also, what's a gilly?
Did
They had
somebody
no
ask
idea.
what's a Gilly?
Well, yes, I think Samity will have eavesdropped and will lean back over and go, "What's a gilly?"
Oh,
Oh,
don't you worry.
yeah, part of me
Don't
doesn't
you
want to
worry.
talk about what Gilly is, because Gilly's great.
You're gonna meet Gilly.
Yeah.
Oh, Gilly's a person?
Gilly's a
Gilly's
person,
a
and
person.
Gilly's a lot in all the right ways.
Gilly's
Okay.
pretty great.
Well, I'm looking forward to meeting him.
Do we know if Gilly likes cheese? Do we? Well, I think we have to let Sammy make cheese before we take Sammy to Gilly.
DM, insight check. Does Gilly like cheese?
What's your insight?
I was hoping to actually physically roll that, damn you. But it's fine.
All
I
right.
like not knowing the total. +2.
You're pretty sure that Gilly likes cheese.
Hell yeah! I would relay that to my F. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Gilly likes cheese.
Yeah, Samity, we're gonna you're gonna do your awesome cheese making thing, and I'm gonna try to not be all the way dumb and pay attention, and then we're gonna take you to meet Gilly, and you'll give Gilly some cheese, and it'll be great.
Okay, I'm looking forward to that.
And you'll never have a nightmare again.
This guy can make my nightmares go away?
Wait, you still have nightmares?
No, no, no. Never mind. Look, wine drinker's peeing.
Insight check.
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
I feel as though I
even
don't
Dusk
need
is
to
like,
make an insight check, and
No.
it's still.
Dusk is definitely squinting.
Is realizing that she has removed curse on Samity, and Samity was in the middle of that shit. Could presumably be having a nightly nightmare.
Yeah, so anybody who's doing that insight check, tell me what I add to this.
+7.
+4.
Just 0.
Yeah, Dusk and Maiev are completely fooled. She's obviously not having nightmares anymore. She must have misspoke. And Snaps, you're pretty sure she's lying through her teeth.
Is Dusk blocking the sunroof? Still.
Nah, I'm sitting upright, just leaning down from a.
Gonna-
I'm like poking my head down, squinting from above. Like, really? Oh no, wait, she's next to me. Never mind.
Yeah, she's right next
I'm
to
sort of
Okay.
like, I'm leaning back so I can kind of look down. I look at Snaps, and I'm like, I just kind of shrug and I say, I just sort of give her a look, like,
Snaps
I
is
guess
coming out of the sunroof.
Snaps is coming out of the whoosh. Like, whoa, hello, hello,
Oh, he's
Snaps.
got little scratch marks on his knee now from Snap's bottom back foot claws.
No.
Would you like to
Um,
ride shotgun? There's shotguns are the thing. Would you
she's
like
just
to
gonna
ride
kind of get halfway out of
crossbow for a while?
halfway. She's gonna kind of get halfway out of the sunroof and lean over and just pat Samity on the back with a third level, with a remove curse.
She's not going to know what that means. She's just going to feel like she's been patted on the back. Right? Yep. Oh, hi, Snaps. Wait, you're poking up out of the hole. Okay. Are you coming up? What are we doing?
She's gonna give 2 thumbs up and sink back down into the carriage.
Okay.
Dusk is
fine.
just gonna. What? Is there a somatic element to it? Remove curse.
I think it's just touch. Hold on, jumping back, but it is verbal and somatic.
So you'd mutter something and then
In infernal.
infernal, and I would like sort of like look at that, then
Which
look at
Maiev
that,
understands.
and I'm like, I just sort of like peek my head down, like my butt in the air, just sort of lean down my head into the carriage and whisper to Snaps, what the fuck was that?
The dream. I never uncursed her of the dream.
We haven't uncursed her yet.
Oh, I don't know why I didn't think of it.
Oh, he's just gonna be like, he's just gonna upside down, holding his hands on his face and his head in his hands, you know, just sort of like, don't. Just sort of like, oh, Snaps. That's not gonna lie, I feel really bad.
We've never
I'm
once
fucked up.
claimed to be bright.
It's okay.
Okay, I will make you all feel better to know that she was in the cave, not infected by the contagious nightmare. She was in the nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
Snaps
Oh,
doesn't know
so
this.
there was a
She
chance
knows
she
that.
didn't have the nightmare happening. So it might have just been a
I
wasted
mean, she
spell
could just
slot.
be having regular nightmares because she went through a terrible thing. But
Yeah.
considering she
Just
knows
in case.
she witnessed the actual events of the dream and therefore could be cursed, that's where Snap's mind went.
Great. Okay.
So will that get rid of it?
If she was cursed, yes. She could just be having bad dreams because she went through a thing that was
A
not good.
traumatic thing, yes. Right.
And Maeva's just gonna like jostle around inside the carriage and go sit real close to Snaps and go, "Did we make sure she doesn't have a Karak first?"
I don't think she does. She was very confused by that whole situation.
I think I would have been able to tell as well.
Okay, just check it.
Yeah, unless her Karak was like a caterpillar and very quiet, I don't think we got anything to worry about there.
Okay.
Maybe she has a cheese soul.
A cheese
Jeez,
soul,
so
yes.
She
She's
has a
cursed with the
sample of rennet in her back pocket that talks to her.
oh goodness, I wonder if it's
she's actually a cheese warlock. She's
A
Oh
cheese
my
mancer.
god.
her patron is the
the
No,
cheese mancer.
no.
Oh my god, we have to make a class, the cheese mancer.
No, I
We
have to
have to
homebrew that.
homebrew a class just
Damn
for
it.
Samity.
No, what's it? You might be a D&D came out with a new video like yesterday or the day before. That's the Sugar Mancer.
this is something
That's
out
funny.
of
So you might be a
D20, right?
well,
Is
you might
this
be a,
something out of the what's the
Dimension
D20
20?
campaign with a crown of candy,
Dimension
right?
20?
I don't know. Here I'll
It might
Go
have
find
just
it.
been a homebrew thing someone came up with at Halloween.
there you go.
I mean, Matt made a fucking Dracolich that was essentially a giant rubber duck at one point for Halloween.
Too funny.
Well, I suppose. Wait, was it something where she would wake up in the middle of the night with the dream or be screaming? Somebody didn't that happen? Did not get told to dusk. Maybe as player table above table knowledge.
Oh, I
I
have
don't
no
I
think
don't
idea
think
what you're talking
Samity has
about.
ever woken up because of bad
Okay.
dreams.
All right.
At
I,
least not that
I
any of us have
think
noticed.
I think she has always roomed with, at least at first, she roomed with either Maeva or
Foggy.
Rasa.
And well, I thought her and Foggy started rooming together quite a bit because Foggy is one of the ones she actually trusted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think like maybe the first couple nights she had trouble falling asleep and then startled awake at one point, but we haven't had like the kit cell wake up.
All right. What does this work? Yeah, maybe next. Maybe one night I'll keep watch and I'll just see. Right. She slept in the dome. True. We'd probably wake up if she was having a bad dream. But well, she's wait. You said she was. You assume you were in the assumption she was lying. So she's having nightmares while she's in the dome with us. That means she's not waking up.
Yeah.
At least not not enough to rouse us.
Not waking up screaming.
Right.
Mhm.
No night terrors, right? No. Still bad dreams nonetheless.
Bad dreams are still bad dreams.
Never hurts. Well, okay. I'm not gonna say it never hurts to remove curse because sometimes it does.
Sometimes.
this case-
Sometimes.
It did once.
But in this case, I think it's fine. In this case, I think it's fine.
Right. When in doubt, remove curse. Except if they're known cursed with friendly allies.
Unless it's a good curse.
Right? Good curses.
Wait, what's a good curse?
Korra.
It's-
Karak.
You call Kurok a curse?
well,
He,
I mean,
for the mechanics of how he is bound to me, he was for a while. The Moon Maiden fixed it, but yeah, the spell remove curse got rid of him. So mechanically, yes, he was a curse.
You remember you guys had to go into the ethereal plane and
Remember, but
rescue
Rassel still
Kirok?
doesn't believe he's cursed, so
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
curse by name, but not by feeling or in terms of sentiment. But anyway,
My Maeva's just gonna talk into Foggy's head real quick and go, "Don't worry, Karak. None of us ever thought you were a curse."
Mm. Foggy will hear a chuff. Oh, I guess you hear his chuff too now when you talk in Foggy's head, don't you?
Yep,
I think so.
that's
Yeah.
established.
You just get one of those wolfy chuffs.
I think it's also established that people who sending me also catch how Karak responds.
Now I'm just imagining someone sending you a message and like the message comes back as "Hi, how bark are you, bark?"
Yep.
Woof. Arf. Oof. Uff, uff. I like imagining
like the
every once in
background
a
noise that
while.
we have sometimes in our microphone.
Yeah.
I like imagining periodically that Kurok is just in Foggy's head doing the husky song of my people.
Yep.
No,
I love that.
I also like that idea.
like yeah, we're familiar with this sort of. Jax is half husky, but he still will howl like clockwork. Was it 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock?
5 o'clock.
Yeah, 5 o'clock, even with time changes.
Wow.
But not every day. But usually when like things are quiet in the house and if he's alone, we've been told the neighbors have heard him do that.
It's like, "Hello, I'm still here."
Now I'm just imagining that
It's a
Foggy
very
tries.
haunting. It's a very haunting sound too.
I love husky howls.
He used to speak whale. Not so
That
much.
is my life.
You were saying something? Aste?
I was just gonna say it's now I'm just imagining you get like 2 or 3 less words whenever you send a message because you have to
Yeah.
account for Borf bark.
In the background. Moving on.
Yes, making our way.
Making our way. Have we finished making our way? Shall we arrive?
Yeah, I don't think I had anything else I
No.
wanted to do today.
Cool, cool, cool. I'm going to say you hit the road by, I don't know, 9 a.m., had a little bit of breakfast around a campfire. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 3:30 in the afternoon. You are traveling along that little road, and Dusk sitting up in the front with Samity. The two of them will see in the short distance some structures along the side of the road. It's a tiny little blip of, I mean, it's like as small as, okay, not quite as small as Losentoft. Like there's more buildings. Losentoft was just a barn and a bunch of tents. This is more buildings, but fewer population. Tiny. Fewer population than you met in in Broughton.
Oh,
Tiny,
okay.
tiny
Yeah.
little village. Pretty much there is an inn with a big old barn and a general store and maybe 4 houses in the distance. As you rock on up, there is a sign in front of the larger building, the one that is obviously an inn, that says the Crooked Crow Inn. I failed as miserably to request our map maker to make a map of this teeny dinky little town, so we don't have that.
For some reason, I thought we'd have more time in Losen Top, and maybe that's partially because I didn't even think to ask.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it just 3 weeks ago didn't even occur to me that, oh, I need to get ready for the next town, and didn't ask for a map. So I didn't ask for a map, but he has offered to make the map if any of you have been saving those images in your note keeping memory journal books. He has offered to go ahead and make that map for you if you would like to have it.
We like maps, but not if it will cause excess stress.
Yeah, part of me wants to do it just for the sake of doing it.
Just for shits and gigs.
Sake of
What if we come
completeness.
back?
What?
And what if we come back?
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Cool. So, I'm not sure where the whorehouses have come in. Did I list something badly?
You said maybe 4 houses in the distance.
Oh, sorry. Gotcha. 3 or 4 houses in the distance. Cool. So you have pulled up in front of the barn next to the Crooked Crow Inn.
Mhm. We're still near water, right?
Yep.
Going for a
Actually,
dip.
hold on. I gotta zoom in. Zooming in. Zooming in. Zooming in. No.
Shit.
You would have gone inland a bit. The road doesn't go inland to Have Hollow, but it does. So you would have gone inland to get to Have Hollow and ridden, probably. This is 8 hours. This is. You're probably about an hour away from the water.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Not going for a dip.
What are you gonna do? I mean, you could travel 2 more miles and not even stop here. And then probably make it to Dybrook before the end of tomorrow.
Well,
Or
it
you
would
could
be right to
just
just
sleep
cruise on
comfortably
through.
here. Yeah, I mean, your choices are travel 2 more miles and slip on the uncomfortable ground, or stay here, sleep at an inn, and get to Dybrook by the end of the day tomorrow.
Right.
Sounds
Who
about right.
knows? Maybe this place needs help too. Maybe there's some dark, secret thing plaguing this town. This little, if you want to call this a town.
Well, there's kind of been a pattern in every single other town we've passed through.
Right?
I am
It's almost like,
so glad.
this place really needs us. So who knows what's been persisting here unchecked? Some deep, dark-seated evil or mischief maker, or who knows?
And I
Samity
really need to
leans
stretch my
back
leg
and
out.
yells down the hole. Yeah, and Lady Rossa's in a hurry to get back to Dybrook. Maybe we should just go.
Hurry?
Okay.
I was joking.
I feel terribly bad for the actual group of adventurers behind us who have gone to every city and realized that there's no troubles bothering any of them.
None to do here. Wow, this is boring.
First come, first serve.
Day late, buck short.
All of the traders that are following behind you are thrilled that there's no shit to deal with on the trade road.
Yeah, there is that.
Well,
So this inn is called the Crooked Crow. Is the sign
Uh-huh.
crooked?
A little bit. Would you like to see the Crooked Crow Inn?
Yeah.
I can help you with that. Here's the interior of the Crooked Crow Inn. Oh, it's a little crooked.
It's a little crooked. Maiev is definitely going to spend just a few minutes attempting to uncrooked the sign.
By what means?
Brute force, but gently, so as to not
Sounds like
break
something Maev's brain think would be valid.
it.
Cool. Let's go with either just a general strength check. No, let's go with either athletics or sleight of hand, which seems like an odd choice. I was trying to give you a strength option versus a dexterity
And a
option.
dex
You
option.
choose.
Well,
Yeah.
I feel like, and I know the outcome is likely to be better with athletics because my mod is an 8. But sleight of hand being dexterity and a +1 and not wanting to break it makes more sense.
Have at it.
And that sounds about right. 7.
So the sign is on a single post right next to the door, right out at the halfway mark between the road and the door. And it's a single signpost that's only about 4.5, 5 feet tall. And the sign is sort of nailed to it with just a single nail in the top. And Maiev very gently and delicately attempts to straighten by lifting up on the right side. And by the time she has finished, it is now higher on the right than it is on the left.
Perfect.
It's exactly the opposite, but exactly the same amount of crooked.
Perfect.
Yep.
Love it.
And so this is the Crooked Crow. There's a bartender behind the bar, and there's 2 or 3 traders inside that I didn't bother to make pucks for. I suppose I could pull in some pucks. Where are the people? I'm on the token layer. Let's put this people over here with this guy over here. Sure, they're having a nice supper together. And this lady maybe over here having a meal with somebody. I gotta find another token. Oh no, let's not use that token. Nobody wants to see that big gobbly giant again.
I have to know who the tokens that were already in there were, and can we see them as soon as we walk in the door?
Well, I don't think I put lighting on this map, so anything that looks like a wall is a wall and will
Okay.
damage your ability to see.
Okay.
There's some people sitting around having food. And you may
Oh.
enter the inn at your
Fire.
Ladies first.
Do, 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 do.
First.
Why is who is this, and why are they here?
who is what?
Yeah, hold
I
on a minute.
assume that's the stand-in for Samity down there.
Oh, that's
Oh,
the
okay.
stand-in
That's
for
not her usual-
Samity.
That's not her usual.
Okay.
That's not her usual token.
Oh no.
Oh, well, what does Samity's usual token look like?
Don't
She was still a
remember.
redhead. It was
I
just
think she's
I think a different face. But that's fine. If we know that's Samity,
yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah.
It's just confusing because there's the exact same token already inside. That's why I was
Yeah,
confused.
sorry. Where is Samity's token? What does Samity's token look like?
I do not recall.
I want to say you've somehow managed to perfectly make it so that no chair is equally within a square.
I'll bet that's Samity's usual.
It's not a one.
Yes.
Besides that one that I'm on.
Yes,
Cool.
that's Samity.
Cool. I'll put Samity at the back of the line.
Samity's been an elf the whole time.
Is that an elf?
Either that or she's got an ear cuff.
Okay. Yes, and I stole a map and it was not preset for where the chairs need to be. Sorry. It's a crooked inn, okay?
It's perfect.
So there's some people sitting in there having some food. And as you walk in, why don't we have a perception check in general? With advantage, because, you know, you got to be able to suss out what's about to happen pretty quick and easy.
Hey.
Some of us will. A
Oh, we all make a perception?
25.
You're-
Actually, if I know what you're about to reveal based on things I'm looking at, I don't think Aste would have advantage.
Oh, you're right. Aste has absolutely no clue. You don't even need to roll if you don't want to.
Sounds good. Okay.
Sorry.
It's okay. Oh. As I'm sitting down.
Yeah,
Three.
pick a table.
Sitting down reading.
Okay.
That's 7, babe.
You can't stop me.
Anybody
Mhm.
do better than a 19?
No.
22.
Rasa got a 13.
I can't
25.
22.
I can't wait for the ensuing bar fight.
Oh yeah,
God.
it's gonna be awful.
A 9.
Okay, there was a
Nine.
22 I heard. Did I also hear a 25?
20.
Yes.
Yes, 25.
Cool, 25. You are the first to notice. But pretty much anybody who rolled over a 10 will eventually notice within the first couple of seconds of addressing or trying to figure out who's going to sit where at the table where Aste immediately went and sat. That these people over here,
All familiar?
awful familiar. You know who that is.
Is that
They
John and
are,
Mrs. Carls?
That is.
yeah. This one be wearing a purple dress, and this one be sporting some hot side boob.
Oh yeah, Maya would
Yes.
immediately recognize the side boob. And oh my god,
I know
oh my god,
that.
oh my god.
I
And
know
like
that
halfway
side boob
tackle
anywhere.
snaps. Halfway tackle snaps and just like shove arm in bag and dig around looking for the baldy locks.
Yup.
Rasa
But
didn't
Foggy
notice
was
that
the
he said
first to
it wrong.
notice, so if Foggy wants to do or say something, Foggy will get to do or say something first.
He's gonna not think about the fact that we have gifts and is just gonna think about the fact that holy shit, I'm seeing a pair of really awesome friendly faces. And not even really think to say anything to the party other than just, holy shit, and just begin a gentle walk in that direction.
Hmm?
What in the? And then Snaps is like halfway tackled, and I'm digging in the bag of holding,
Yeah,
trying to grab one of the
Snaps
bottles
did a
of
little
booze.
excited squeal before she got tackled.
And just,
So
Well,
as Foggy's marching across the inn as if he owns the place, the rest of you who would have some idea based on visual recognition will recognize who he is walking toward. And the two of them are sitting on the opposite side of the table from the room and deeply, 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 deeply focused on each other and completely unaware of the rest of the room.
Oh man, I can't turn anybody invisible. Wait a minute. And I'm gonna like grab both Foggy and Snaps' arms and just like yank them back real quick.
yeah.
And I'm gonna say, wait, just a second. Because married
Okay.
woman recognizes the stare. And
Yep.
I'm gonna say, just sit here and be quiet for like 2 seconds, and I'm gonna run back over to Dusk while holding the. No. I'm gonna set the Baldy locks on the table in front of them, and then I'm gonna run back over to Dusk.
Okay.
hmm.
Dusk,
What's the way? What?
can you make me invisible for a second?
Not even going to ask why. Because if I do, then that makes me culpable. Let's see.
And
That's a big
you
word.
did just ask that question out loud, standing right next to Aste. Just saying.
Yes, I did.
Although
Right.
Andrew's microphone is muted, so if Andrew's going to do something about that.
Well, I don't have the invisibility spell.
Oh, all right. Never mind then. Just checking.
Trying to see if I have other versions of it. No, I have greater. Right. Yeah, sure. I guess I could do that for you. I don't want to know why. Go ahead.
And he
Have
looks,
fun.
and he looks over to the others. He's like, "I don't have invisibility, but I have fireball. Does it work?"
No.
Okay. And he goes back to reading.
Right. I'm gonna concentrate on this. You have 1 minute to do whatever you need to do.
Perfect. And she ruffles his hair, and Rasa will hear Maiev in her voice go, or Maiev in her voice, in her head go, I'm gonna do some sneaky shit. And
Oh,
while
da-do-da-day.
invisible, I run back over to the table, pick up the bottle of Baldy locks, and walk very slowly against the wall, and then set it down very gently in front of Jean, and try very, very hard not to laugh, and then run back away.
So Skaros is going to notice the floating bottle out of the corner of her eye. And her eyes will flick at the bottle and then flick at her wife and kind of stare with her eyes getting a little bit bigger. And then she's going to look at the floating bottle as it's getting closer. And she's going to look at her wife and tip her head down a little bit and get her eyes really big. And Jean's going to turn her head and go, Baldy locks? What? How do you go?
And at that
What?
point, Maiev would fall out laughing.
How'd they get Baldy locks here? Wait a minute. Why is it? How did it float? Wait, is that Snaps over there?
And Maiev has
Very
like
trying
tried
very
very
hard not to
hard to
bug
set
it.
the bottle down, and she's now rolling on the ground, invisible, laughing.
Snaps was trying to be sneaky. She put up her hood and faced away from the friends, and she's
Oh,
facing
okay.
Foggy,
Then it's
trying to
Foggy.
block
Is that
him
Foggy
a
over
little bit.
there?
I'm just gonna not engage yet.
Mrs.
She-
Scaros is going to yell, "What are you doing? Are you Foggy? Foggy?"
Oh, hi! Guys, come on. Let's at least say hi. Come on.
Oh, all right. As May have done what she's going to do.
Yes, Maya did her bit. Come on.
All right,
Maya's
Lady Ross,
still
come on, let's go.
completely unaware of like you can leave her invisible if you want, but she's just gonna go over and like give them both a hug, even if she's still invisible, and she's cackling the entire time.
Yeah, it's been less than a minute. If Dusk doesn't make it drop, then you will go hugging Jean first, whose arms are at her side, and suddenly her shoulders lift up. Oh, what the hell? What was that?
Maiev is being silly.
Where's Maiev? Oh
Maya's being Maiev.
no! And Mrs. Scaros is just laughing. I thought I heard her somewhere, dear. She's in here somewhere.
I'm right here.
And Mrs. Scaros is just going to reach out and find you and wrap her arms around you and give you a little hug and a pat on the back. It's so good to see you, darling, and you, Lady Rasa, and Dusk and Snaps. And Foggy. Why is Foggy sticking around all the way over there? Is he?
Player thought he had already moved his token.
Oh,
Player
okay.
Player lag.
And it's so good to see you all. Things are going very well at home. The reconstruction is moving along just fine, and Jean and I are just here to celebrate our anniversary.
Ooh, we're crushing that, aren't we?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we finished eating, and we were just going to have a
And
few
now
drinks
there's
before we.
booze.
And now there's that particular booze, which. And then she kind of cocks her head and looks at Jean and raises one eyebrow, which we will open tomorrow.
Oh, didn't we also I
On-
do hate to
on the
continue
way-
the Yeah, you first.
Yeah, on the way over to them, Snaps would have dug in the bag of holding, and as the hug train was happening, when she hugged Jean and Mrs. Scaros was distracted by Maiev, she would have slipped the smaller box of chocolates that is specifically for Jean into Jean's hand, and then winked at her.
Okay. That's going to
But
get
then she also
secreted.
has the other larger box that is for the both of them. She's just kind of holding that and waiting for the opportunity
and Foggy
to
was
give
about
it
to
them
say,
and get
yeah,
the
don't we
flowers.
also have some chocolate for these guys?
And Jean
Snaps
will
told them.
very discreetly pocket the small box of chocolates without acknowledging it at all.
Yup.
And Snaps will
And
hold the other box out after Foggy mentions it.
oh my goodness, look what you've done. Look what you've done. And she gets all excited and sits down and immediately pulls the lid off the box. And oh, I never know which one to eat first. I'm going to try one of these. And pops one in her mouth and then sort of slides the box out into the middle of the table in case anybody else wants one.
Oh,
And Jean's just going to reach over and have one.
We got plenty of chocolate from that place before we even left it, so these are yours.
These are the best chocolates.
Oh yeah.
And Maiev is just going to sneakily speak into Jean's head, because I do believe that, yes. I'm just gonna sneakily speak into Jean's head and go, "Don't worry, I have another bottle for you." And
And
I
I
don't know that
don't
I've ever
know if,
spoken into Jean's head.
yeah, I don't think you have. And I don't know whether she knows by what means you are doing that. So you'll get back because she doesn't know whether you're going to get it back. She's going to go, I'm pretty sure that's her. The thought in her mind is, I'm pretty sure that was Maiev, and I say thank you if you can hear me.
And it's open communication. Oh yeah, I forgot. I learned this while we were gone. Yes, I can hear you, and you're welcome.
Right. That's a new thing you're doing. That's and then she kind of elbows Mrs. Scaros. She's doing some sort of telepathic communication thing. And Mrs. Scaros just kind of eyeballs you with surprise, like she hadn't even ever assumed that you would ever do anything magical in any way. She's always thought of you as a blunt instrument. And so
Oh yeah.
the fact that you're doing magical things is very surprising to her. And she gets this motherly pride crosses her face for just a second, and it looks familiar to you.
Yeah. And Maiev will just switch targets. And I learned some things. And yeah, that I know that look.
I'm very impressed with you, darling. So there will be some awkwardness to their behavior once the greetings are completed and the chocolates have been consumed. And they are you so you're headed back to Dybrook now, right?
Yeah, this was just a place
Yeah.
that we stopped on the way through. I can sense what's happening. I was about to start to suggest that we walk away and let you two focus on each other for a little bit.
Well, yeah, well, we're gonna stay here for a few days, so we won't be there, but you will be leaving in the morning.
Oh, I believe that's
Jean
the
is
plan.
kind of, yeah, Jean just kind of leaning forward suggestively. You
Yeah,
will
no.
be leaving for Dybrook in the morning, but we're gonna stay here for a few days.
Yeah, no, that was the plan. We've traveled the amount of distance that our horses can travel, so we need a place to sleep for the night, and then we'll be out in the morning. You don't have to worry about us. Yeah, we have a horse and buggy. Well, a pair of horses and a buggy.
2
But,
horses. We have 2 horses, Foggy. Jezebel and Wine Drinker.
yeah, I know.
What's
Jezebel,
I mean, I don't mean
Jean
to
is just
pry.
like Jezebel and wine drinker, you say?
Yep.
Right.
Uh-huh.
That's what they call themselves. Or at least that's what they like to go by. I asked them.
Uh,
It's all right.
okay.
Question, just out of, I mean, I don't mean to pry, but of all the places you could go, is this why here for your anniversary? I imagine you two would be like on top of a most picturesque mountaintop overseeing a lake with just the most gorgeous views. Well, why this place? Doesn't even look like it was built straight. Not a straight angle in this entire structure.
And
Oh,
Maiev
Jean,
has difficulty stifling a laugh.
Jean will just reach up and rub her face in that way that someone who's trying that almost an exasperated thing. And Mrs. Scaros will indicate um, it's where we met.
It's where you met.
This table right here.
Insight check.
Sure. What are you going to add to that?
I don't know. Just insight checking. Why can't a guy just insight check? +4.
Cool. You are supremely confident that this is the truth.
All right.
That this table
Well,
right here is where they met for the very first time.
you met right here for the first time. That's grand. That's cool. Oh, that's so sweet. How long ago was that again?
This will be, and Jean is like, oh, I got this. It's 3 years. 3 years.
3 years. Oh, that's oh. Well, most excellent. We will get out of your hair and horns and just be over there. No, so nice to run into you. We weren't thinking we'd see you for at least another couple of days, given all the shenanigans of running amok.
I'm gonna give you. Jean will have said 3 years, and then she will have added these words before you started speaking again. She will point at Mrs. Scaros and she will say, that creature is my destiny, and nothing else in the world will ever matter to me as much as it once did.
No.
And Mrs. Scaros gets very sappy, very fast.
All right, you two. I'm going to go throw up in the corner. So let's.
Okay, bye.
Excellent response.
All right.
All right.
Careful,
So
there's
another
enough
one of the
sap. We make some
resume.
maple syrup.
That's one I've never heard.
What did he say?
I said, with enough sap, we can make some maple syrup.
Yeah, there you go. So get out of here.
Yeah, and Foggy just gives a gentle bow and does wipe a tear because fuck you, mom.
Mm-hmm.
And turns and walks away. Helps to actually do that with your token when you declare that.
And Mrs. Scaros says, we'll see you in a few days, kids.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to
And
move you
Maya
all back
would have
over
just
here.
Maya
Oh,
would have just put her hand over
I'm surrounded.
the inverse, the mirrored heart with their initials on it, and just shot a wink at him before she walked away.
Cool.
Things were normal until 10 seconds ago, and now I'm surrounded.
Now you are surrounded by people who just, you entered a bar with what you thought were your friends, and they just walked away from you, leaving you in Samity, sitting alone at a table, and went and talked to strangers in the corner.
And then I went to the bar for
In the
3
chat,
seconds, and then
Snaps did leave it open for them to join, but it might have been awkward for them.
Ah,
And then I walked away for 2 seconds, and Snap stole my seat.
I sits.
that's how cats work.
Not all.
So some young guy is going to come trotting out from the kitchen, count your heads and say, food all around?
Sounds good.
Yeah, food all around.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 food. I'll be back. And
Yep.
off he goes into the kitchen. And a minute or two later, a lady comes over from the bar and says, he's getting you food. You need beverages? What do you want? It comes with the food.
Feel
Something
free.
strong.
Strong. Strong is an extra silver.
That's fine.
Tea.
Cool.
Foggy's gonna
Tea
raise
is
his hand.
free.
Water, I'm
Yes.
boring.
Water is good for you.
Round for everybody. Blessings of Seluna on you all.
What for everybody, sir?
Whatever they want.
Oh, round for everybody. Got it.
Round for
Sorry.
everybody.
Got it.
On top of that, if I may, I don't know if you're the one servicing, and then he points backwards, their table.
Well, yeah, they're drinks. I'll be
Yeah,
out there. He does the food.
Yeah. Can I get another round for that table?
Sure. They're drinking bubbly stuff.
That's fine.
That's fine.
All right. Yeah, sure. I
How
got
much?
that. There's 2 gold.
Yeah, and he immediately hands her 4.
Oh, all righty. Cool. You know what? Because I don't know if you know them all that well. I saw you go over there and greet them. This is a special day for them.
Yep.
If you like,
Yes, we
I
know.
could use all 4 of these to put a bottle in their room.
Do that.
Okay, that's what I'll do.
Thank you.
And so she receives whatever food, drink orders you all have. You see her pop behind the bar. She hands a little guy a bottle from back behind the bar, and he goes tearing off for the stairs. And she makes your drinks, and before she comes back with your drinks, Bobby comes out of the kitchen with food. It's a very hearty, beefy, meaty stew. A big old chunk of crusty bread. Um, Silverware is brought with the plate. The bowl is on a plate next to the bread, and it gets clunked down in front of each of you. Blank, 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 blank. Here you go. Here you go. I got it's 2 silver pieces each. And yep, sure. Here you go. Here you go. Anybody need anything else? I got cake after if you need dessert. If you're in, you got sweet tooth, I can help you with that. It's part of the silver. 2 silver is all it
Snaps
takes.
will give this person 2 gold for the table. 3
I
gold
think
for
you
the table.
you gone a little overboard
Also
there,
tip.
dear.
Also tip. Keep it.
Tip. This,
It was intentional.
there are occasionally people who come through here who pay extra for things. I don't quite understand it. Now, do you understand that the innkeeper here pays me a fair and legitimate wage?
That's wonderful.
That's wonderful.
Just
But that is the extras for you.
saying.
Don't
Great.
worry, you won't.
My
talk
wife
logic.
will not complain.
You won't talk logic into them. I've tried.
Oh, all right. Well, thanks for the warning, sir. I appreciate that. And I'll go get some cake sliced up if you're interested in some cake.
I don't
Right,
believe
and
him
you
a sir right
never
now.
saw us. He waves his hand in front of him like you never saw us.
Never saw you. I got to be honest with you, sir. I don't remember people much. It's kind of a constant stream of faces. Those 2 over there in the corner, really the only recognizable faces that ever come in here more than with any, they come in here almost every year for like, I don't know how long it's been going on, but they're here all the time. So we know
3
those 2.
3
3
years.
3 years. Okay.
Or
Well, you
what?
know something cool. 3 years it is. All right. Well, I'm going to go cut cake now. And he trudges back into
Okay.
the kitchen. So the beverages have been delivered. The food has been delivered. It's extremely tasty stew. Like these people must have a very, very prolific herb garden somewhere outside this building.
Nice.
It's good.
Nice.
Would you even say it's yummers?
All the way yummers. Yep. And Samity will lean in over her stew and be scarfing it down pretty quickly. And she's just gonna lean toward Snaps and say, "Who are those people in the corner that everybody seems to know but me?"
Those are our friends that we have been talking to in Dybrook.
Oh, they're from the
That's,
town that we're
yes.
going to.
Yes. That is
Oh,
Jean and Mrs. Scaros. And today is their anniversary? Because it would have been 2 days ago that I messaged.
yeah. Yeah, today is the actual anniversary.
Today's their anniversary.
Okay. Oh, oh. Yes. Great. Which one's which?
Mrs. Scaros is the purple one, and Jean is the red one.
Oh,
Just pointing them out.
they have different. They have horns. I mean,
Yes.
I've seen tieflings or heard of tieflings, and I met one once. I've never seen horns that look like that. And how come they have different kinds of horns? Like that one looks like she's got cinnamon buns stuck on the side of her head, and the other lady just has like little fingers sticking up out of her head. Aren't they supposed to be like big, long, pointy things?
Well, I
And
assume
my
it's
other's just gonna lean in a little closer to try and not be stupid.
well, and he gestures to her forearm. Your skin is a certain particular color, and then he points backwards at the table to the north. That gentleman's skin is way paler than yours is, and yet his hair is more brightly colored than yours is, yet both of you have red hair. It's just the way their bodies developed. And then he shrugs, knowing that I'm not the biggest expert on tieflings either.
Huh.
Well, I mean, one of my dads has orange fur. I mean, people look different depending on where they're from.
Yeah, it's just what parts of
Sorry.
their body decided to develop how. No, you're good.
I mean, deer who have horns all have the same kind of horns.
Yes,
So
but
I
not.
There
thought
are different
horns were
kinds of deer.
horns.
Yes, deer all may have the same kinds of horns, but even I have variable boobs.
That's true. You did grow boobs that you didn't have before. Okay. I'm learning new things traveling with you people. I'm going to be
Yeah,
okay with that. Well, if they're friends of yours, I will decide they are friends of mine now.
I appreciate that.
And she will pivot on her chair and lean over across the back of her chair a little bit and go, "Happy anniversary!" from across the room.
Oh, at Jean and Mascaro, she's going to introduce herself.
No, she's just going to holler from the
Happy
table,
anniversary.
"Happy anniversary!" and turn back
Happy
around.
anniversary. Okay.
They're here for a few days, but after they come back to Dybrook, they have a homestead outside of the town, and it's beautiful. Flowers everywhere. There's a temple to Lyra there, and we'll have to introduce you when they're not having their own time.
Okay. That sounds great. Um, Stady, you didn't know these people either because you stayed here with me.
Right. Well, that's unfortunate, but
They seem nice.
yeah, absolutely.
They are
Oh,
very nice.
so munch, 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 yum, 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 delicious. At some point, Bobby's going to come back out of the kitchen and scoop up your plates and, unbidden, just bring everybody a piece of cake because there was no real clear answer on the cake subject, and he's not messing about with you people. And just plunks down a piece of cake. And if you don't eat it, fine, somebody else will. And while you are eating your cake, unless there's more dinner time conversation, I'm going to move the story along.
Yeah, no, I have
Cool.
nothing else to add.
While you're eating your cake, a woman who GM layer, grabby grab, layer, token layer, comes in from outside and strolls around you, and then diagonally across the room makes her way over to this area with her loot and sort of perches against the wall and begins
Not
to
on the
strum.
stage.
Is that a stage? Oh,
It is a
I
stage.
didn't. I didn't even recognize there was a stage in here. Yes, so she wanders in from outside, up the steps, and onto the stage that I didn't even recognize was a stage in the image that I stole from the internet, and sits and begins to pluck away a little meandering tune on her lyre. And as she's plucking these pretty little sounds and chords, a poetic composition begins to flow from her mouth, not singing, just sort of relaying as follows, accompanied by a little tune that she's playing on her lyre. Seasons come, and seasons go. Moons will wax and wane. Time seems to slow to the spirits of Have Hollow. One is the spirit of Astabar, a mage who traveled wide and far, a collector of items of magic lore, seeker of secrets from times of yore. For Astabar, a dragon was an easier foe than defeating his own pride and ego. Certain he was greater than any magic force, he set to unraveling the eldritch source of a wand most strange and chaos bound, that the mind of the mage it did confound. Seasons come and seasons go, moons wax and wane, time seems to slow to the spirits of Have Hollow. Astabar would not be denied. With all his powers, he'd turn the tide against the wand that refused to break, even if wisdom he did forsake. Upon the wand he cast all his might, eldritch light dancing in the night, and the wand's power was unleashed, its chaos and fury was released. Power beyond his control, the wand was consumed, the wand consumed the manor whole. Sheathed in radiant magic fire, Astabar was consumed on the ethereal pyre. Seasons come and seasons go. Moons wax and wane. Time seems so slow to the spirits of Have Hollow. And she finishes her little prose and slings her instrument across her back and steps down from the stage and wanders over here. Oh, no, sorry. While she's talking, somewhere after the first verse, Mrs. Scaros and Jean have gotten up and gone to bed.
Gotcha.
And they're just gonna slink their way around to the stairs, waving at you, clearly intending to slip out without further interaction with you
Yep.
and sneak off to their room without having to deal with you anymore. And then
Yep.
the lady's prose ends and she comes down off the stage and she wanders this way and that way. And there's people at all of these tables, one or two. And she wanders through here and she wanders off this way. And she pauses periodically next to some of the tables and just keeps wandering around, stops over here, comes around this way, stops over here, stops over
Am
here,
I to assume she's
comes
attempting
around.
to collect tips?
Yep,
Okay.
stops over here and
I'm gonna reach and I'm gonna
sort
pull a
of
silver. I'm gonna give her a couple snaps as she walks by and try to offer her a
yep.
silver if she's willing to take it.
Sorry, I missed some stuff in the chat and I'm catching up. I am so sorry.
Oh, whoops. I think I also did.
The cake has arrived. There is a chinchilla trying to get the cake. Is that a chinchilla?
No, that
Cat.
is a
It's
It's
a
a
hairy
hairy
cat.
cat.
cat. It's a sphinx.
And then we tried to do an AI Photoshop of the group. Oh, this is great. And then okay, so there we go. Everybody's wondering. And you hold out a coin to this lady.
Yeah, I offer her a silver.
And she says, well, howdy there. Well, you just put that right there on the table and we'll have that lady just get you all another round with that if you don't mind.
Oh, that's very kind of you. Well, just put it down on the table. It was very pleasant.
And then she kind of leans and says, somebody must have put some owlbear piss in those people's wine.
Oh, did nobody even else even attempt to
No, not a one.
Oh, that's
Not
awful.
a one. Yeah.
Oh.
She laughs and she says, "Not that I'm surprised. I mean, the story of Astabar isn't exactly a popular tale in these parts. Hi, I'm Ravonna Greywire. You look like an adventuring lot if I've ever seen one. If anyone in here would believe me, I think it's you. Can I tell you something?
I'm listening.
The
Can I try
tale,
to sneak some money onto her person while she's talking?
um, well, you're not next to her. You'd have to reach through Foggy to do it. I think she would notice. Or you'd have to get up.
Yeah, I'll get up and wander. Sorry, I don't hear too well.
And she's going to step back to here and gesture at the table. Just put it down there. They'll take it and they'll get you all around it. We'll all have a round together.
No, all right. Clearly, she doesn't intend to accept money. Leave it be, Maeve.
All right, fine.
And she said, "Can she tell you something?" And she says, "The tale of Astabar is true.
Oh.
That manor I was talking about, it's like an hour's walk east of here. And it has been abandoned for years. I got to tell you, fortune and magic await anyone bold enough to risk it. I plan on heading there in the morning. Maybe y'all would be interested in joining me."
Yeah, based on what I roughly heard you describe, I'd rather you not go alone. Are we down?
Have you been there before? Is there a reason, like, or is this your first time?
I've heard the stories over and over again. I'm dying to see what's there.
You're dying to see what's there. Phrasing.
What'd you say?
Said phrasing.
Oh.
Well, what's the worst that happens?
Well, I mean, there could be. I mean, I did start this conversation by saying you look like the adventuring sort, and you all seem to be armed to the teeth.
And you were going to go there on your own, some?
Well, it's not like I have an empty bag of tricks myself. And she kind
Oh,
of waggles her lute a little bit.
ah,
Alright.
And
you're going to
hi,
bonk some with your
you
loot.
did correctly assess us there. Hi, we're Fate's Wanderers.
Oh my goodness, you're a adventuring lot who has a name. And she gets all excited. And
Oh, right.
are there stories told about you? And she's like leaning
Not yet.
closer.
Not yet. We're getting
I'm
there.
Not
I
the
could
Oh,
moment.
there will be.
if you
Now,
can
Dusk,
can
tell
I
me
Dusk
try
some
to
leans
sneak
stories,
in.
then
money onto her?
Dusk leans in with like, we're the destroyer of nightmares.
Oh.
wait,
Oh.
Destroyer of Nightmare. Hold on, Destroyer of Nightmares or something about wandering through fate. Which one is it?
Well, not. I'm just
Both.
saying, like, that's what we do.
I think they want to have their cake and eat it too.
We are the face wanderers, wanderers of fate, and you know, job description is destroyer of nightmares.
Okay, something that ends with fate and something that ends with
Fate's
nightmares. I can work
Wanderers.
with this. Oh, something that ends with wanderers.
Yep.
Errors. Errors is a little
Horrors.
harder to rhyme. Errors. I'll have to
Yeah.
work on that.
At least we're
I'll
not
work
like,
on it.
the party of purple or the
Are you taking a dig here?
the Dukes of Orange or something. I don't know.
Remember, she knows where you sleep, sir.
Truly the most creative of our time.
Oh,
I'll workshop it. I'll workshop it. Now, I am leaving bright and early in the morning, headed over to the manor. I planned on leaving right after breakfast. Um, I got a room upstairs. I'm assuming y'all are staying the night.
Yeah, that was the plan.
Yeah.
Aye.
Well, I'll meet you out front in the morning. What do you say?
Are we down?
I'm down.
How far away is it again?
It's like an hour's walk, she said.
Player literally forgot. Okay. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fine.
sure.
See why not?
You know,
Is it toward the water?
No.
Okay,
Sorry.
east is away from the water, Mayev. And this side of the island.
well, fine.
But if you do keep marching through the mountains, I'm sure you'll eventually get to water again.
Oops. Dropping things.
And she perks up for just a second, and then she looks at Dusk like, "Wait a minute, I know what you're doing."
Not going to be marching that far, dear. Just an hour. All right. Well, I'll see you in the morning then. I'll meet you out front.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
And and before the bartender has even come to pick up those 2 silver and bring the beverages, she has wandered off up the stairs.
Oh, I thought she was going to share a drink with us. Oh well.
How do you all find something to do in literally every town? Are you all
You
just
know,
It's like moth to a flame.
so it seems?
And money. Somebody tell Aste that story sounded like a lot of cash.
yeah.
Well, if there is a manor dilapidated, abandoned in the middle of nowhere, full of magic and mystery, aren't you curious, Professor?
No, of course I'm not saying not. It's just that it just seems like quite the trend for you all.
I'm
Yeah,
just assuming
we
something.
are actively on the way back home to recoup and relax long
I
term,
mean,
and at every possible stop something has happened.
right.
He's got a point.
I mean, there's going to be something dark and evil there, and we'll kill it, and the world will be better for it.
I figure as much.
Or there'll be something innocent trapped, and we'll set it free, and the world will be better for it.
Or wasn't there one time there was something innocent and you killed it and the world was better for it?
Hmm.
I
Innocent,
know about that one. We didn't tell him that one.
innocent, and killed.
Yes, but you don't know how long I've been watching you all. Anyways.
Innocent and killed.
Wait,
Oh, Lord.
what? What did he
What?
say?
Huh? Anyways.
No, literally, Deaf Player missed it.
Oh. Out of character, I said, you all don't know how long I've been watching you before I came up.
No, I heard that part. What was the part immediately before that? That all I heard was Ashley West say, "We didn't tell him that."
Oh. Yeah.
Where we killed something innocent.
Yeah, and the world was
And the
better
world was
for
better
it.
Killed something innocent, and the world was better for it.
What, like a
Okay.
mosquito?
Yeah, I think he's talking about the dragons, probably.
We killed the dragon?
Fairy
Y'all killed the
dragons. Was it fairy dragons?
Yes.
Oh,
Where we
the
were
fairy
absolutely the
dragon.
baddies because they were just having a playful romp and we came in and killed everything.
He
Yeah,
completely
that
misread the
was that. I think
situation
that was the
and pounced
first.
them.
Yeah, I think that was the first instance of, "Are we the baddies?"
Instead, we've been pretty good, but that has been weighing on Snap's conscience. But anyway,
Yeah, we went off a little half-cocked in that one.
Who's next?
But since then, I
Thank you
think,
for that painful reminder.
brutal. But anyway, I suppose need to prepare for all sorts of interesting interior subterranean hijinks tomorrow.
Yeah, let's do that.
Then
So-
let's do it in style. And Mayev's hand shoots back down into the bag of holding.
I see.
No,
What's she
not a
coming?
single one of us inside checked. Not a single one of us inside checked that bitch.
Yeah, no, not a single one of us at all.
There
We were too
were
busy doing insight checks on Jean and Scaros.
Yeah.
Regret nothing.
there were 3 bottles of Baldy Locks that were purchased and shoved into the bag of holding for safekeeping. One of which is Mayeb's, 2 of which were Jean's.
Well, that's
Okay.
the bartender's right there, right?
Yeah, she's at some point would have come and picked up those 2 silver and brought more liquid.
It's like, barkeep, did you hear that little yarn of the manor or some sort of magical place east of in the woods in the middle of nowhere?
You're talking about that poem about that Astabar guy? Yeah, I've
All
heard
right,
it.
that place, that guy, that place.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that? What do you make of that? How long
Well,
have you
it's
lived here?
well,
At
I've
least
been here
3
about
years if
5.
you know them over there, right?
Yeah, dude, do you? Yeah. Yes, I know the story. I've been here 5 years, and I don't care to hear the story anymore. It's just folklore.
All right.
Have people come true here telling you that, oh, I'm going to go off and find this place, and they never come back?
Well, every once in a while, some idiot will get themselves lost in the woods. Yeah.
Right. Lost in the woods.
Well, they go off looking for a place and they never come back here, but that doesn't mean they're, anything bad happened. They just
Right. I'm
moved
sure they live
on
happily ever after in the middle of the woods east of here
or
and
went
never.
on to the next town, sir. This is a trade road and nobody stays here more than a night except for those 2 nice ladies.
Right.
I feel like the person with a +0 to their insight should not be saying insight check, but insight check.
Also, she will sort of insinuate that people stay one night and then kind of suggest non-verbally that y'all might be staying one night. Because if
Yeah.
you're staying, the rooms are 5 silver per night, 2 beds per room.
Oh, yes. Fog will cover it. Or he'll
Great.
start pulling coins out.
Okay. So she's already
1,
scooped up the
2,
2 coins and gotten
3,
more liquid for you. And now the conversation of rooms
1, 2,
has
3,
come up
4.
and you will pay her.
For a total of 4 rooms.
That's a problem, sir. I only have 3 available.
Oh, well, 3 then.
What?
And I hand her 6 silver.
3 it is. Great. Wait. 6 silver? How much did I say it was?
2 silver a
It's
room.
6 silver per room, 2 beds per room.
Oh, whoops.
5 silver. 5 silver per room, 2 beds per room.
Yeah, sorry, I'm
So that would
stupid. Yeah,
be
so
15 silver pieces.
yeah, and
So
he'd do
2
that
gold.
easily. Yeah,
Great. Got it.
yeah. Sorry,
All
I did
right.
a stupid. I did really bad math.
Breakfast included. There'll be eggs and whatnot down here in the morning when you get up.
Wonderful.
And then she's going to look back at Dusk like, did we finish talking?
Oh, I just wanted to make sure, there was at least some background to that poem, story, folklore, whatever you want to call it. I was just curious if it has been sought before and if anyone had actually come back from it claiming they'd been there.
Okay, look. There've been some treasure hunty kind of people that have showed up here and said that they came from there and that there were monsters inside the fenced area. But you take some of this stuff with a grain of salt. People like to add to the story. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Now, but out of
Maya just
curiosity, what
looks sheepishly down at her legs.
I mean, what kind of monsters are we talking about? Like,
Oh,
what do they look like?
like great big bears or something with, like monster bears.
Monster bears.
Bears, but monsters? I don't know.
Sounds like the
Like I
description.
said, you kind of just take this stuff with a grain of salt, man.
Sounds
Right.
I mean, what was Aste trying to say?
Sounds like the description of a bear to someone who's never seen a bear before. Monster bear.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure it'll be a very interesting experience. Well, if we don't make it back, you can tell Miss Scaros and Jean over there, who will be staying here for a little more time, where we went and why we're not back.
They're expecting you back here. You need 2 nights?
No, well, I mean, if we're going off into, if we're gonna go seeking this place out, we're gonna probably be a little chuffed when we come back, one way or the other. Even if it is
Oh,
an hour walk into the woods.
you're coming back here after you go explore?
More
Well,
than
yeah,
likely.
Oh,
we have our horse cart here.
Yeah.
oh,
I
you
don't
got a
think
horse
Sandra
cart.
wants to go into the forest.
I'm sorry, you got a horse cart outside.
Yeah.
Right.
I didn't get that part. That's an extra 3 silver. No, how long have they
Oh,
been out there unattended?
I thought they were being attended to.
Let them.
Okay, massive miscommunication. All right, then I will.
Yeah,
Let's go
I
take care of
toss
it.
her I hand her a gold for the inconvenience.
Great. Hang on. And she yells, and the young man that had carried the bottle upstairs for Mrs. Scaros and John is like, oh, and runs out the back door.
Yeah, whoops.
Am I to correctly understand that we walked in, saw our friends, and promptly forgot about the horses?
Oh yeah.
Well, you told them you had horses, but you forgot that you left them standing in the street.
Yeah.
Well, whoops.
So a young man has run out the back door, and you now see him through the open front door leading Jezebel and Wine Drinker to turn around on the road and go back the way you came to lead them into the barn.
Whoops.
Great. That's being handled. So sure, I guess if you don't come back tomorrow, I'll tell the ladies that they're friends
Yeah.
who were didn't that you're what, lost? If you don't come back tomorrow? Is that what I'm telling her? What?
That we're
Just tell her to talk to us if we don't come back. She'll know what it means.
Talk to you because you're not here. Is that really the message you want me to give these ladies?
Yes.
Talk to you because you're not here?
Yes.
tell them to reach out.
Gotcha. You bet. Talk to you because you're not here. Talk to your friends because they're not here. You
Right.
got it.
If we're not back by tomorrow evening.
Dinner
I
time.
mean, tonight evening. Today's the same day, right? Wait. What day is it? Tomorrow evening. We're setting
What
out
day
tomorrow
is
morning.
it?
Who's up
You're
first?
setting.
If we're not back in 5 days.
I don't know. It's on 3rd. Okay. Great. Okay, well, your rooms are upstairs. If you go up to the second floor, you're the whole left side of the hallway.
Fantastic. Thank you. Sorry again for the confusion with the horses.
Yeah, I'm glad we got that taken care of. I'll be sure they get some good food and good water.
And wine.
What?
Wine drinker. She likes wine.
You want me to give your horses wine?
Yeah, just the one.
And this woman's face is just a complete glassy befuddlement personified.
Yeah, and I
Wine.
gesture it. I gesture at Mr. Dusk. Yeah. That one uses magic occasionally and has the ability on occasion to speak to animals. And their actual names are Jezebel and Wine Drinker. And Wine Drinker is called Wine Drinker because she likes wine. Yes, it is confusing. Don't worry about it.
I mean, it's a horse. What do you want?
A horse that
And
drinks wine.
Yeah.
Maya leans over to Rasa. Is that the face I make all the time?
Yep.
Okay, well, can I have an extra well, no, you've already overpaid for some stuff. I got this. And I'll get a bottle of wine out to the barn. Which one's I guess they will know which one I'll put we'll put some wine in a bucket, and whichever one happens to be the one that drinks wine,
We'll drink the wine.
presumably will drink it.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, she'll go to town on it.
All right, good. And so she goes behind the bar, grabs a dusty bottle, heads out to the back door and yells something and hands the bottle and has a little conversation with the young man and comes back in.
And before she comes back in, Maya has dropped 5 gold on the bar.
Yeah, you people overpay for everything. You
Yes,
got
we
it.
do.
Okay.
Because we like to confuse people. We at least make it worth their time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Slowly over time, the rest of the patrons have finished their food and have either gone out the front door and on about their merry way or up the stairs to a room. And eventually the place has cleared out completely. Just you 7 are left. And a very tired looking bartender. The cake was tasty. Are we going to bed? What are we doing?
Oh, yes. Sorry. Yeah.
That sounds good.
Cue the Midwestern knee slap. Welp.
Yep.
We're taking 2 long rests in a session. That's awesome.
It's
Yeah.
awesome.
And
It's what a full day of travel will get you.
if the DM would not bother, would not be bothered too terribly. Yep, that one. Because my brother did not answer his message.
Oh, whoops. Yeah, I
Could I,
see it now. Yeah.
could I please be remembered of the mechanics of the Baldylock shot that I will be taking before bed?
Oh no. I'm gonna have to like print that shit out.
Yes, you are. You
And
let me buy a bottle of it.
just keep it on hand. Funny, I printed out the entire backstory of Jean and Mrs. Scaros as a couple,
But not that.
But not
but not
Baldilocks?
that. But not the information on Baldilocks.
My God, woman.
So let's see. Baldilocks would have been the first time you went to the homestead after.
I know that it's one of those take a deep breath, exhale slowly through the nose after you have downed it. So like she's a pro at the actual shot process, but I can't recall. Yeah.
It was after you
Reading
came
out
back
slowly.
from Dracot. So it must have been.
Glass. It's from Glass.
Well, yeah, but the first time you ever drank it is the only time I ever wrote all that down. And that was at the homestead.
Oh, do I get advantage? I
Nope,
mean, I
that
don't
was a
need the
town
advantage. My
meeting.
con's +8.
Is someone
You
pasting
do
it?
I don't remember the actual number of the save. I remember it's a con save, and if you do the breathing thing, you get advantage on the con save, but only on the first shot. After that, you
Oh,
don't get advantage on the breathing thing anymore.
it's a good thing I had the advantage on the breathing thing because one of those was 4.
Mm. Okay, I'm going to have to find it another day.
That's
'Cause
fine.
this is just not fun for anybody to wait to find out.
Pick up a number this time.
Yeah.
Today, con save is. I'm just going to roll a dice. There, the con save is 12.
Well, I got a 21.
Cool.
And I would have
So you
gotten a 12
coped
if I
just
didn't
fine.
have advantage. So
It's tasty.
it's tasty.
No, it's not tasty at all. It's like drinking
It's
gasoline. It is
spicy.
very unpleasant.
It's spicy.
But it also warms you up from top to bottom. If you were chilly, you aren't anymore.
Ready for bed. Oh.
Yeah.
Wait. Tattoo. Just a little tipsy tattooing.
I finally found my notes so that I can respond to Dusk's questions that he was trying to ask the bartender. Hey, Dusk, before all these
Hooray!
people filter out of the room, why don't you ask someone at one of these tables if they've ever heard that Bar story?
And I'm just
And
gonna
I
like
will. Yeah.
stretch, get up, walk over, like Dusk Heartfire. I'm the one who paid for your drink.
Oh. You paid for drinks
Blessings and
for
salute on
everybody
you.
in the bar. I totally forgot. Well, it's great to meet you, sir. That's very kind of you.
Oh, no problem at all. I was hoping maybe you could shed some light on a little mystery that I just learned about.
What's that?
That Estebar poem, story, folklore about that place off to the east, through the woods.
Yeah. It's supposed. It's There's a manor
Right,
house.
okay.
There was Astabar was the guy that lived there. He was a big old powerful wizard.
Big old powerful wizard.
Yeah, it's been like 20 years since anybody saw him, but his house is still out there. But everybody thinks it's haunted.
Haunted.
Yeah, the people who live around here, they avoid the place.
Well, that would make sense if you thought it was haunted.
Yeah.
I was just asking the barkeep if anyone's already been out there and back and shared any stories, and not sure if there's any living memory here in town, so to
Well,
speak.
I mean, I heard I've come. I do the trade route probably twice a year, and I've heard the stories before. There, every once in a while, some group of adventurers goes and tries to find, wealth and magical stuff worth money. But I've never heard of anybody actually successfully bringing anything home of any value. I have heard of groups that went and never came back.
Right. That was the biggest concern, is that it's not just some dilapidated manor in the middle of nowhere. It's curious what people have experienced or rumors of what they've seen, and you're telling me there's a wizard that's there, and who
Well,
knows
I
what sort of
mean, a wizard
Shenanigans.
owned the house, but nobody's seen him for like 20 years.
Right.
Although he apparently, would have had a horde of magical artifacts in there, or maybe even like magical creatures. I don't know. People say lots of stuff. There's rumors.
Huh. Rumors.
Hmm.
Well,
Those rumors indicate that the artifacts there would be worth a small fortune, but again, it's just rumors. I don't know.
that's
I mean, it's
very
enough of a
helpful.
rumor that people write poems about it, right?
Right. Those are the kind of things the legends are made of course.
Yeah.
Especially local legends. I just wanted to
Yeah.
pick some more brains, so to speak, of any facts that might. I know people don't stay here long, but like you say you're a tradesman traveling frequently, right?
Oh yeah. I pick up stuff in Salt End Landing. I don't know if you're familiar with the area, but I collect
I've been there a
items
couple
from Salt
times.
End Landings, and I make the loop, and I end up back in Salt End Landing at the end. About
Really?
twice a year, I make the full loop. Yeah.
Wow. You must hear stories of all sorts of things.
Oh yeah. There's always rumors running around in the smaller towns along the trade road.
Indeed.
And then, you
Any
get the real pleasure of staying in places like there's some nice places in Draycott to stop and enjoy a good glass. And if you deviate from the north-south part of the trade road on the other side of the continent and go inland through the jungle, there's this one town called Okarthel. It's full of dragonborn, but oh my goodness, is there some fun to be had in that town?
you don't say.
I do say it's a nice place to stop.
Yeah, I bet. Well, I'd buy you another round if you could tell me about anything other interesting things of places, of rumors, of legends that you've heard of, like things on this level.
Oh, I'm kind of tired.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
We,
okay.
we were about to head up to bed.
You're a hard-working
It's
man. I
nice
can see
chat.
that.
It's nice chatting with you, and me and the wife we're going to head off to bed, and I appreciate the drink. That was very kind.
No problem.
Not
Blessings of
often.
Saloon on you.
Thanks.
May
On
your
you
travels
too.
be easy and efficient.
Oh, well, now that's a nice blessing. Thank you very much, sir.
All right. Just going to saunter back to the bar, or my comrades gone up at that point.
Yeah, Samity's pretty much ready for bed. So unless you all have something else you want to do, we can determine that everyone has gone to bed.
Okay.
Just
Does
a con
Oste
save
drink
from
the shot?
Austin.
What was
Oh,
that?
Does he?
Then
Hmm?
one more thing I'll do.
Does Oste?
Sorry.
Oh, I was just saying, does Oste drink the shot that Maya poured for him?
oh, absolutely. What the heck? It's free.
What
It's
did we
free.
Con
decide
save.
the con save was this
12.
time? 12. Okay, let's go.
Okay. Well, let's see.
Did you give Oste instructions?
Aste watched Maya take it.
Would have.
It is 12.
So, okay.
I have proficiency in con saves because I am a sorcerer.
Very good. It tastes like you've just guzzled a enormous mouthful of lava. It burns going down, and then it sits in your stomach like you have swallowed charcoals, and they are continuing to burn for quite some time afterward. Very, very unpleasant, but also kind of interesting that your nose is a little bit numb. And pretty quickly thereafter, you really don't care that your stomach is burning at all.
I don't even know what to add to that. That's a lot.
Yep. Yep. You really don't care. It's fine. It's great.
It's all good.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Off to bed.
Well, Dusk is going to do one thing before he goes out to
Okay.
bed.
Yes.
He's going to do his little thing where he's going to walk outside to the night air. He's going to steps of night up onto the roof of the inn, assuming there's a place he can settle in up there.
Sure. Always.
Always. He's going to look up, assuming the moon is getting up high in the sky, hopefully.
Uh-huh.
He's going to commune.
You casting a spell to do that?
Yes.
Okay. Read me the spell.
Commune. You contact your deity or divine proxy and ask up to 3 questions that can be answered with a yes or no.
All right, I'm ready.
All right. He's going to just say, "Oh, Moon Maiden, we're going to go into who knows what tomorrow. Is this Astavar story where there's a manor more? Is it a dangerous place?"
You get that gentle breeze first that tells you that somebody's listening, and then you experience that that experience where the air about you feels heavier on your shoulders, like someone has draped a blanket over your shoulders to comfort you, which you could interpret as a yes.
Yes. Is the danger there due to the wizard that used to be known for living there?
The blanket sensation is somewhat reduced, but you also don't feel any negative or opposition in any way. Sort of a non-answer. Yeah, kind of yes, kind of no.
Right. And is this person we just met that we're going to go off to, player's names, forgetting the name of the character, is this person trustworthy?
Ivana,
Yes.
trustworthy. I'm going to say you get that warm blanket sensation again, but maybe not quite as intensely as the first one.
Right. Well, as always, thank you for your help in clarifying the mysteries of the world, making the clouds go real back in the sky, so they may see you in your light. Good night. Toodaloo.
Yep. And as the sensation on your shoulders diminishes, you do feel just one last moment of a cool breeze just across one cheek,
Which one?
your left.
My left cheek. Cold breeze across my left cheek.
Not cold, but a cool breeze.
Oh, cool breeze.
You know, like the same thing that you feel when you know she's listening.
When I know, I'm sorry, when I know what?
When you know that she is listening and paying
Oh, right.
attention.
Right. Like a little parting sensation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ah, right. Interesting. 20 years. Let's see what kind of monsters live out in the woods there. You're gonna steps of night down and figure out which room I'm supposed to be crashing in.
One of the 3 rooms on the left.
One of the 3 rooms on the left. I'm gonna go to the first one and sort of knock and say, "It's dusk. Am I supposed to sleep in here?" Hello.
One of you
Where
better
is it?
answer.
Either way, one of us is sleeping in a room with 3 people. This is me and Snaps. You want in?
Sure.
Cool.
I've got some information.
All right.
So, do we know which room our new friend Ivana's sleeping in?
No. I don't think we ever
No.
were told which room she went into.
Right.
She went to bed
Okay.
before we did.
Right. Well, anywho, I did ask around after there was one of the trades travelers. They just inquired if having passed through these parts before, if stories of this Astabar, you know, bear any merit, or if there's more to it. And it seems that you know it's a story as old as time. A wizard lives off in the middle of nowhere. They go silent for 20 years. People think, oh wow, there's must be lots of magical artifacts out there. It must be worth taking. If the wizard hasn't been heard from, maybe the wizard died. So sure enough, there's a steady stream of treasure hunters, some with mild success, some without, that are never heard from again. And
All right.
the Moon Maiden did confirm this is going to be dangerous.
All right. Well, are we thinking we leave Samity back here then?
And it does, at least some part of the danger we're about to face is due to that wizard. Either directly or indirectly, I suppose. It was kind of a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
Makes sense.
So who knows?
At
There
some
could be
point, dangerous
other
nation will
denizens of,
reclaim.
right. It could be a bit of something, when we show up, those large monstrous bear things that we're being told about could be part of that non-influence of the wizard, or who knows, maybe they were. We don't know. And the last question I asked was whether this Ivana person was trustworthy.
Oh, okay.
And well, it's, you never know.
Of
Seems
course.
convenient. But I figured, just do a little background check, and it
What'd you
came up
get?
a little. It was not clean. We'll say that.
Oh,
Hoping
so
for a clean bill of,
like a mostly yes.
yes, mostly, but it's like, so maybe that means in the wrong, if it's a situation where you're hanging on a rope and she could either pull you up or cut you loose. Depends on the situation.
We'll
She
keep her near
might.
the middle of the pack then, rather than at the back.
I think that's a grand idea.
Yeah.
She has to share the same fate as us,
Yeah. Makes
and
sense.
she'll be fine. Maybe we'll see. But at least it wasn't. She wasn't like straight up backstabber,
All right.
So that's somewhat comforting.
Yeah.
So, all right. We'll see what tomorrow brings.
Indeed. Are you actually intending to sleep in this room, or are you going to pick a different room? I'm just curious.
I don't know. Is it? I'll sleep on the floor. Whatever. Just
Yeah. Whichever you want. I'm okay either
I'll
way.
sleep on the.
I only need 4 hours of
the
meditation
We're
anyway.
also
I was gonna say,
adults. We can share. Snap, I don't mind sharing.
I
I don't
suppose
know.
that's fair.
a couple of us trance, anyways. So
Yeah.
I mean, am I? Should I go somewhere else?
And I glance at Snaps and I glance at him. What are you implying?
I don't know. I'm just, you know,
And
I don't know.
he genuinely takes a moment and like looks in Snap's direction for a second. Maybe pick a
Snap
different
sort of shrugs. I mean, there's not a bed in another room that's free.
room. Yeah, maybe pick a different
We
room.
only have 6 beds and 7 people.
Well, that means they're all taken because I'm late to the party, so
Yeah.
that's all right. I had to
Snaps will
get some
scoot
answers.
over and make room on the bed that she's sitting on.
Yeah, you can just go take the dome outside. It's not a big deal.
Whatever you want. Who's texting me? Why? Please. I'm trying to roleplay.
No,
Okay,
I'm
what?
doing
just
a
a
shitty
notification.
job. Snaps just budged over and made room for him, man.
For either Foggy or Dusk.
No, I'm
She's going to
fucking like I'm giant. I'm going to end up like hogging the whole bed. I mean, you know, either I have the whole bed or I sleep outside, and so there's really no halfway.
And Foggy genuinely like thinks to himself for a minute and sees that space has been made on that bed. And then looks at the other bed and looks at Dusk and just sort of thinks to himself for a minute.
And Dusk at this moment really wishes he was telepathic and just be like, just.
What the fuck is going on, boy?
It's like, oh man, only Rasa were. Well,
you're gonna visibly see Foggy get like awkward and not know how to proceed.
Dusk is like one hand on the doorknob, kind of giving Foggy your call, bro.
Yeah, just
does look at Foggy and then gestures to the bed like she's okay with it,
yeah,
but
and
understands if he's not.
yeah,
She's
and
not saying anything.
I gesture Dusk out of the room.
All right. I look forward to sleeping in the dome all by myself. I've never done that before.
There you go, a new experience.
There we go.
Have a good time.
Toodaloo.
Where?
Yep.
Oh, that was fantastic.
Oh.
Dusk doesn't know why it's awkward, but he's picking
Yeah,
up
it
on
doesn't.
something vibe.
I feel like Maev is just sort of giggling to herself while she's doing her tattoo for no
Doesn't
known
know
reason.
why. Yep. Foggy is going to, before you actually like begin laying down, is gonna sit in the bed next to you. Sorry about that. Didn't know how to get him out of the room without just saying get out of the room, and then I got fed up and just told him to get out of the room.
Bad making him sleep outside.
One more time, Snaps.
I feel bad making him sleep outside.
I didn't want
But
him to
she's
sleep
like
outside either, but
genuinely
like,
laughing.
yeah. I haven't been wanting to be pushy, and I still don't. I'm still perfectly willing to sleep in that bed, even though I know you said you don't care. And he's gonna fail to find words again.
And Snaps is just thinking, and she's genuinely more relaxed than she's been like the last couple of days. Just, I mean, and the last couple of days, she's obviously been like going through an internal thing.
Yeah, which Foggy's noticed.
So she's like, yeah, she's like finding words right now. I didn't want to leave the temple.
Mhm.
I was ready to dedicate the whole of my life to the Veiled One. I was ready to stay there with my family and to care for her house and to serve and comfort the Grey clans until the time came for me to pass into the Grey. That's what I wanted, what I thought I wanted. But I don't think that's what I want anymore. The Veiled One asked me to leave the temple. It wasn't an order. There wasn't a mission, no reason that was given. She just asked me to go, so I did. And of course I did. What was I going to do? Not? And I thought, I'll come back eventually. I'll come back to the temple. But then I looked up and there were the 4 of you standing in that damn doorway at the Unicorn and Toad.
Mhm.
And I do love you. And I want to stay here with you, with all of you.
Uh, and he's beet red and doesn't know words right now. And he just sort of puts a hand on yours. I love you too. Let me not forget to say that. Uh, and then immediately struggles for words again. You'd think I'd be good at this after 100 and change years. I love you too. Um, gosh, yeah, I don't know what other words to use. Thank you sounds weird to say in this context, but I've said it now.
Snaps has kind of stalled out and run out of words.
Yeah, we clearly both have. Yeah, I don't really have a place to be other than with these weirdos. And if that includes you, I'll be really happy. Yeah. And he just
I'll
sort of
always
leans in a little closer and actually like puts his shoulder on yours.
and she leans into him. I'll always be tied to the temple, and if they call for me or if they need me, I'll want to
Of course.
to go to them. I think you'll like them. I think you should meet them sometime.
That sounds like a damn good idea. Alright, well, I wasn't actually certain I would get an answer tonight. I was fully willing to wait months if I needed to. But okay. And he just leans in and hugs you. He's not gonna take that next step yet, but he just leans in and hugs you and starts getting ready to lay down in bed with you and sleep.
And Snaps will return the hug.
Weehaw, romantic non-sexual hugging.
Woo! Jesus.
It's morning.
And that statement will live forever on the internet.
Oh my gosh, that's
Yes.
fabulous. Okay, so that happened. And Dusk is sleeping outside in a dome, and
Poor bastard.
Maiev and Rasa have a room. What?
I said poor bastard because now there's a bed available.
Poor bastard.
Yeah. Maiev and Rasa are sharing a room, and Aste and Samity are sharing a room. Samity will ask Aste as she's quickly changed into, or actually, rather than changing into anything, just takes off some outer layers and leaves on the under layers, petticoat type stuff, and crawls into the bed and starts to settle in, and then kind of sits up on one elbow and says to Aste, did you do the thing with the make us safe thing that you do?
Yeah, I always cast alarm before we go to bed. Yes.
Okay,
Don't you worry.
just checking.
Yes.
Just checking. And then snuggles down in and goes, gets ready, go sleep.
Honk shoe.
Honk shoe. You're adorable, Andrew.
Wait, what is honk shoe?
It's the cartoon snore noise.
Oh, honk shoe. Okay, honk shoe, honk shoe. Got it. I thought it was me, 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 me.
There are
There's
two
also that one.
versions.
That one.
Okay, anything between Masa and Rayev?
Jesus.
Masa and Rayev. Okay,
Yep.
she is cornmeal now?
No. She's asking if there's going to be another romance between you two as well.
No, that's not what I'm asking at all.
Yeah, if you ever did, it would be nice.
But now
Maiev
that's
is
on the
married.
internet.
Maiev is married.
But also flirted with Jessup,
I was-
bald, but completely
John.
wide out in the open, and
And John,
John,
yeah.
and anyone else.
Well, you see, just because there's a goalie.
It's like Dusk wakes up. It's like, is this building more crooked than when I went to sleep?
Yes.
Dennis and
So-
the crooked crow. All the beds are crooked. All the walls are crooked.
Everything's crooked.
Even the people are crooked.
Mhm. Okay, so unless there is conversation to be had between Rasa and Maiev, we need to decide whether we want to start the next session in the morning or proceed.
I mean,
West has said she's fine, but usually it's Sarah's body that gives out first.
it is midnight.
And Ashley has been conscious far more than she wanted to today. I had all 3 kids all day.
Yeah. So
Shall
we'll
we call
start
it
the
then?
next session. Yeah.
All right.
We will start the next session waking up and having breakfast at the Crooked Crow.
Okie dokie.
Alrighty.
Dusk
Should we do?
coming in
Should
from
we-
outside, stretching like. Ugh.
Alrighty. I'm gonna end the recording then. Good night, YouTube.
Good night.
Good
you
night,
two.
YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus, Andrew. All right. Good night, everybody.